Hey guys,
Hi, Nick.
how you doing?
Mildly irritated. How are you?
Uh, well, it's kind of the opposite for me because I was irritated earlier today, but I just released all of that through exercise. So just before I came on,
Good for you. That's a smart way to do
yeah,
it. This new sharing thing with um, trying to share this out to the different groups is really irritating. Now I have to do each one at a time instead of boom, 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 boom.
I know, I know the feeling. It's really irritating. So I've been doing that before. I've done that before, and I know the frustration out of it.
Yeah. So
What's going on, Irene?
so for those of you um, that are handling all the programming and everything for Facebook, you suck.
What's up, Brad? Hiding a sexy spirit in my bedroom. Where's the troublemaker Adrian? I
Oh,
don't know who this Facebook
dear.
user is. She's somewhere. I just don't know where. Hey, Joe, good to see you.
Hello. She's just now getting off of work, so she's probably in a mad rush to get down to the basement because that's where they are at for this.
What's the story for Eileen this time?
She sent me a message. There's a thing that she had to be at tonight that's about 30 minutes away. Um, she might be late coming in. I don't know.
Oh, it's Mimi. That's who the
Oh,
Facebook
hi,
user is.
Mimi.
Oh, Jeremy, I just got a. I don't know if you could see it, but Kat just got back to me. She said she's in the waiting room, but I don't see her. Do you see her on the
No,
bottom anywhere?
no.
I sent her the I sent her the right link, so I'm not sure. That's the thing that's been happening in StreamYard lately. For some reason whatsoever, there are times when people try to come in and they're in the waiting area, and you can't see them for some reason.
Really?
So yeah, I this is not the
Can
first
she
time.
see us?
Oh wait, she's typing right now. Hang on one second. See what she's gonna say. Because something tells me she probably can see us, we just can't see her.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. If she can see us.
Came in at 10, like you said. I mind well sometimes. Hang on. I mean I remember I sent her the link correctly. I mean the correct link. It was the same one you sent earlier. So let me try something here. I got an idea. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna basically enter the studio as
There she is.
well. Oh wait,
Yeah.
there she is. There she is. I see her.
Hello.
Hey, there she is.
Hi there.
Hey.
I was waiting on you to bring me in. Duh. It's
Yeah,
process.
didn't see you till just now.
Yeah.
How you
Yeah,
doing, Kat?
I just don't.
I'm good. How are you?
Doing all right.
Good.
Just waiting on Adrian to get here. She's just getting off of work, so it takes her a little bit to get down
Oh
here.
wait, here she is now.
Hi.
What's going on, Zach?
Hey, what's she? I'm not. Oh, man, boobs. I get it. Yeah, yeah. So, how are you guys?
How are you?
Doing great.
Doing
Awesome.
good. Doing good. So, Jeremy, how you doing?
Irritated with Facebook now.
Why?
Well, because before when we would share out our shows, we used to just hit send, 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 send. Now we have to go each group at a time.
I know, right? That
Yeah.
is a little frustrating.
Well, you remember on the 22 hours how it was doing that thing where it wouldn't allow our Facebook shows to play
Yeah.
Yeah.
towards the end. So
I remember that.
Yeah, but okay. Well, Adrian will be with you shortly. Until then, please enjoy this music.
Well, Brad here says that at least you haven't made her mad yet.
Yeah. Well, Brad, it's either that or she has perfected voodoo and I'm just a zombie.
They sell that down in New Orleans too. She can get that from Bloody Mary. Just saying.
Don't ask anything
Well,
from me. What are you talking about?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Eileen probably won't be here tonight. She had some sort of a function to go to for her work, and that's a half hour one way for her to get there. So chances of her coming in tonight is slim. But you're stuck with us. So
I'm good with that. Although I would like to see the full crew, but I'll take y'all too. It'll be fun.
Adrian will can't share anything anymore. Okay, that's a problem.
Yeah, there was that's happening too to even people who are watching. They can't even share it for some reason.
Well, if she's trying to share it from one of the group pages that is set to private, you can't share from there. That's why you have to do it from the public page where you can.
Yeah, because I shared it from my personal page. So
Yeah. Well, I'm sure. Hopefully, she's using the public page for it, so she could share it. She must be using one of the private ones then.
Well, I am going to check the page that. Okay, no, that's public.
Seems like there's already some technical issues already.
Okay, both of her group pages are public, so she should be able to.
Yeah, she said it is.
Okay. So, Irene, where are you now? And okay, she's not on the Universal page. Okay, I don't know why you can't share.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's.
I have found that
Facebook.
I have found that Facebook sometimes just gets in the mood.
Yeah, and
Obviously,
just
sometimes,
right?
As if it's looking for trouble, obviously, and exactly what Irene said. It's Facebook. What do you expect?
Yeah,
pretty much.
Facebook is Facebook. Either live with it or don't.
Well, anyways. Moving on. Kat, first off, I got to say it's great to have you on our show.
Thank you
for tonight. So it's just funny to think how I was just on yours last night, and I was on your show as a guest, and like what Jeremy says, now you're stuck with us as a guest.
I'm good with that. Though. I like both of you, so it's all good.
Awesome.
Okay.
Were you gonna say something, Jeremy, or?
Oh no. Okay, I don't know who this is.
Yeah, Facebook user.
Yeah, it's not showing up on the Universal page, at least not yet.
And not on the public page
I was
either.
actually listening to the show last night. Most of it. I didn't catch the first half hour, I think. And I was trying to do the chat, but chat wouldn't work.
You know, I have I just switched over because I got tired. I own a network and I produce other shows there. In fact, I've got one going now, but it's a rebroadcast because he had to work. Hi.
Hi, Adrian.
Hey, there's Adrian.
Hi.
How are you?
I am always the one. Absolutely. It's not even fashionably late at this point.
Oh, sure it is. Just say, I was busy, darlings. I'm here now.
Yeah.
Yeah, put some
Yeah.
accent with that. It'll be all good.
The problem is, when you work from home and those phone calls just won't end when you want them to, Brad, I'm
Right.
gonna whoop your damn ass, dude. So what are we talking about?
Well, I was about to say, I know.
Being an ass.
Huh?
No.
Huh?
Talking about how Facebook is being an ass.
Oh, that too.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I thought
Oh, wait,
you
no, we
that's a
actually moved on from that.
I was going to say, Jeremy, from what you were saying about listening to the show about the chatting, so you couldn't chat in it at all, or?
Yeah, I clicked on the link for the chat, and
what did it do?
when it led me to a chat, and for some reason, and Brad, I am going to hurt you if you
Yeah.
follow through with this one.
Yeah.
But for some reason, the chat had me automatically named Honey Cake.
Named what?
It had me named Honey Cake.
Somebody in there liked you.
What came up?
I bet.
Oh my gosh, with your login. Was that like a pseudonym?
No,
You
it is
incognito.
automatically. I didn't sign into anything. That's just the name it gave me.
That's very odd.
Yeah, and I even said hello because I couldn't see anything on the except for Honey Cake and some other name. So I typed out hello, hit enter, and that's what came up.
Nope. Don't
Wacky.
hurry, Brad. It's okay. Really.
Brad is probably laughing his ass off right now.
I think he is.
If he were mine, he would be.
Yeah.
Mine has.
I did listen to the rest of the show.
Wasn't he great?
Hmm?
Wasn't he a great guest?
He always is.
I know, right? I love chatting him up.
Who is that?
Me?
Nick.
Oh,
Nick was on my show last night.
I'm surprised you didn't listen in, Adrian.
are you kidding me? The crap that we have been through the last week.
Sorry.
If I don't start taking, I don't know, some kind of, I don't know, it's legal here. I should start smoking because I am going to choke that kid.
Oh boy.
Oh,
I will
man.
say be careful. I will say be careful with the gummies, the edibles, because they will sneak up on you. I did that in Denver and where it was legal. And I thought, I haven't done anything like this in 40 years.
Mhm.
I'm going to try an edible. It's legal.
Oh my God.
And the levels that they have of them are not clear.
No,
So
no.
it was not a bad thing, except that I had gone to the Stanley, and my daughter and I grabbed some appetizers
Mhm.
before a show, and they brought supposed to have been steamed Brussels sprouts, but they were basically raw. And
Yes.
and those are terrible for your tummy. So I was like, oh my God, I'm having a heart attack. So I had to leave the show, and I was like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. And people thought I was having a heart attack. And I'm like, no. Hello, Emily Min's house.
Hey, Emily, how you doing, honey?
Good to see you. But it was so funny because I was mortified. So if you're going to do it, I would suggest just smoking it. Seriously. I would not I did not care for that experience. Just
At
saying.
that
And now
point-
everybody knows that I did edibles when I was in Denver, but that's okay. Just the once, and it did not work out.
Well,
So,
how long ago was it you were at Stanley?
at the Stanley, it was 3 years, maybe 4.
Okay, so
Because she lived in Denver for a year, and she's been in Charleston for a while now.
2021, yes. They redid apparently I just went for my first time last week, but apparently they have redone the restaurants and all the good stuff there. And I saw the Brussels sprout thing.
Don't eat them.
And I thought, oh, they're fried.
Don't get them. They don't cook them enough.
Now they're deep
Yeah.
fat fried. And
Oh,
I'm like-
well, those are probably done.
I'm like,
So-
I don't know about all that.
I don't know that I would eat fried Brussels sprouts either.
Okay,
You
I'll
just
take care of
told
it.
me about it. I
Okay,
gotta go get them.
I'll take care of it. Of course, he needs something.
But that's
So,
my husband. Okay, just for fairness and advertising here, my husband is in the living room with 3 dogs, trying to keep them quiet and answering my phone. I hope, because I'm not sure where it is. So, husbands can be wonderful, and then sometimes he comes in to bring me a snack, and I'm just like, working.
mine comes in during the show and brings me dinner because he cooks the nights I'm on the show.
Yes,
But
mine too.
He's an amazing cook. I couldn't say, yeah, he's
Yeah.
amazing. But what I did find out, these guys know this, but and Jeremy knows it firsthand. We took over our in-laws' house, my in-laws, his parents' house. It's been in the family for 3 generations.
Oh,
And mom and dad are getting, they used to take care of developmentally disabled adults. I'm having trouble with the one child, let alone adults. That's
Right.
not me. God bless who can do that, but it is not me.
absolutely. Me either.
I'm like, ooh, this kid he's autistic. And he was dropped off at our doorstep and they said, take him or he's homeless at 17. Okay. No problem. We can do this. Now I'm going, did we really? Because I have not had training on any of that. And they say, oh, that's just his autism. No, he's just being
No.
a butt. He is so high functioning. No, sir. He is being a butt. He gets violent and cusses us and throws things and hits himself and, all those fun little things. But with mom and dad, since they don't take care of those people anymore and it's legal, I can get high walking through the living room. They smoke so much. I mean, I could just walk through and go, thanks. Back off to work.
Sit him down in there. Sit him down in there.
Oh, but the gummies I can only take right before bed because if I let it go too long, I start spinning. I mean, it's like, oh, whoa, hey. So I
They're
have to,
strong, right? It wasn't just me.
no, they are very strong.
Right. Okay. I feel better.
Yeah, and I don't
Justified.
smoke. I don't smoke, and I have not taken anything for probably like 30 years. And I tried it as a kid. It made me sick. So I
Yeah,
tried it
I
again.
didn't like it. It was too relaxing, and I did not like feeling vulnerable, and it made me
Yeah.
feel vulnerable.
Well,
So I didn't like it
yes.
either.
this is what it caused me, but this is a cover up now because somebody decided with, one of those old jailhouse guns, wrote their initials on me, and I knew what was happening, but I couldn't do anything about it. And they're like, no, that doesn't do that to you. Oh, yes, it does.
It can too, and especially back then because people were lacing it.
Yeah, they probably.
So there's no telling what it was.
And I'm like, no, I'm good. So I stayed away from it all those years. And then we get here and it's like, I smell it. Why am I smelling it? Oh, the guy next door's out on the porch smoking. What?
Where
What?
do you live?
In Colorado, Greeley, Colorado.
Oh, okay. Well, everything's legal there. Yeah.
Mushrooms. They are selling mushrooms in the stores, like the dispensaries. And I'm like, that's
Really?
a hallucinogen, I thought.
Really, they are a hallucinogen.
Yeah, they're selling them just like they are candy. I'm like, okay, we've gone a little far here. Just a little too far.
Well, that's interesting.
Mm. I am over it. I'm glad I'm old because I think I would be.
Me too, girl. I tell
I'm-
you, it is. I'm serious. I would not want to be an adolescent coming through this again now because
No.
I liked mine, and I even had abusive adults, and I liked mine better than I would like it now. I'm
Yes,
positive.
absolutely.
So it's just, I
Oh,
mean,
Todd. Oh,
Hey, Todd.
you actually came to say hi to us without Eileen? That is so nice.
oh, hey, Todd. Is that Todd Eskew?
Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh. Hey. I haven't seen him in like forever.
Most
hope
of
you're
the
good.
people on here are like, they're here all the time. So it's like we give them a really hard time when we sound so mean about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he saw Cap. Oh.
Yeah.
All right. I take it back. Never mind. Just move on.
Todd gets it really bad. Brad gets it really bad.
Brad deserves every bit of what he gets.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Yes.
Picture that he just sent me a minute ago. I am going to hurt him.
Oh, he's in so much trouble that he doesn't even know which end's up here pretty soon. He's going, well, I can tell you which end's going to be up because when I put him in his grave, I'm going to put his rear up outside the grave so people can walk by and kick it.
I'm Southern and I haven't even heard that before. But it's very good.
I come up with all
No,
kinds of
Jockey, I'm not a stoner.
No.
Not even close.
No. You can hardly get him to take a drink. And he froze. Okay, so that means he must have lied because he froze.
What? No, I haven't froze at all.
You did too.
No, it's because of the green screen that just keeps affecting. It looks like I was freezing, but I actually
You're
wasn't.
like right now, you're frozen.
It looks like you're just kind of weaving in and out like that.
Well,
I just
he
figured
is
you
an,
had some of the mushrooms.
he is an X-File. So
I think if I ate one of those mushrooms and watched him, I would be done. Just immediately.
Well, I
Done.
would agree because you wouldn't know which one it was,
Yeah.
and that would be weird. But
Oh,
you know what? You can always say it was paranormal.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, you can't.
the fading
Everybody else
again.
thinks
That's
too.
paranormal. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Nick, I did not get to tell you. I told Jeremy. But Mom got sick the last few days and like stomach bug, I don't know. And I walked through the house like the second day. She was still sitting there and she goes, I need to talk to you. Okay. She said, I keep hearing something back there. I said, okay. I mean, there's a whole house behind you. She says, no. I kept hearing something. And then all of a sudden, she said, cabinet started opening. I'm like, what? She says, the door shut. And I kept yelling, who's back there? And I said, where was Dad? She said, he was not here. I said, oh, because my husband is down here in the basement doing his work. I'm all the way up in the top floor. And I'm like, Mom, you sure? She goes, oh, it gets better. She said, after I yelled a little bit, somebody pushed the back of my recliner. She said, I stood up and looked behind it, said, who's back there? About that time, my husband came through he goes, Mom, are you okay? What is wrong with you? And she said, I swear. He goes, okay, whatever. And I'm like, I already know because they live here. I know.
Wow.
Were they there before y'all got there? The spirits?
Before we moved in, yes.
So she's
Before
used to
Mom
them.
moved in, no.
Hmm.
Because her daddy died here and she took care of him till the end. Her uncle died in the living room. He had, he was so old, they said his blood dried up. So it was anemia is pretty much what it would be now.
Mhm.
Her mama spent her last few days here. I mean, like she got put in the nursing home the last, I want to say 22 days. But just about everybody has passed away in this house that lived here.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, at our wedding, we knew that family had come. And I was like, okay, so we deal with it. Let's do this. And every medium that has come in doesn't know
Wow.
anything going on here. And they're like, there is a portal in this little corner. And I'm like, there's not a portal in this corner. And they're like, yeah, there is. I'm like, okay, well, we're going to pretend it's not there then, because the family's fine. I don't meet some randoms coming in and out. So, but yeah, this house is built in 1908.
Oh, okay. So it's lots of people.
And it's had the original the upstairs. It's you can either look at it as god awful, ugly, or vintage. It's got the original red wallpaper, and they
Really?
matched the red carpet to go with it.
And when she says red, she means red.
It's like it's nothing but red. And I actually jokingly even asked saying, because like except for the ceiling, and I asked her what voice like, are you guys gonna paint the ceiling red too? So it's
Give them any
completely
idea?
red,
Do
all
not.
four sides. Yeah.
No, but this is like her when she was a kid, there was 4 other sisters, and the neighbors would look up while the lights were on, and they would call it the whorehouse because all you see is red. I mean, it's red.
In the day, that's exactly what that would have been, right?
Yeah.
That's funny.
And I'm like, and my husband, he says, we will never get rid of this. And I said, I agree. It's part of this home. And that's the original that we will leave. But that red hot, yes. Yeah. You're not kidding. That bathroom, Brad. That bathroom, I've showed you the video of, like, the bathroom has, instead of symmetrical walls, it's like one going down here, one going this way, and then this wall's straight. It is so, you can't hang anything in that bathroom because it's just so weird.
It's weird.
It's very bizarre.
I'm sorry? What?
Change your
Change my
name
name?
on screen.
I'm sorry?
Not on.
Huh?
What did
Brad, send her the picture.
Brad, the last word you're going to hear is, I found your ass. I swear, dude.
I love people who've been married forever.
Oh, that's not my husband. That's not my husband.
That's not your husband?
Oh, hell no.
That is her husband. She's
Brad, actually, we've never met in person. So when we do, he's going to die.
Oh, this Brad. Okay.
Yeah.
Brad Webb,
That's
yeah.
funny. That's funny.
Brad, never mind. I got it. Okay. Listen, you little dill hole.
Yeah,
This
we can put up
grandma-
the bounty of bread like Joe said.
This grandma will still whoop your ass. Try me.
Oh, and also, if you didn't know, Kat, he's actually going to be a guest eventually on July 32nd.
Who?
he already said he had to
Brad.
cancel that one.
Oh, July 32nd.
Okay, well, let me tell you something. I will not be on the show whatever day he's on that show, because we will not have a show. It will be, I'm trying to come through the screen and kick his ass. Number 2, Brad, the last person that said grandma can't keep up or whatever the hell it was, I'm going to tell you something.
I
We went to
remember.
Salina, Kansas, and somebody about your size, your height says, you can't drink me under the table. I said, oh, yeah? Well, let's try. I bought shots all night long. And I'm going to tell you, the one that says, grandma can't do this was the one. I've got pictures of this little sucker laying across the bench, passed out as I was leaving.
No, Joe, he's in Indiana.
Is Brad my mistake? He can be. I mean, we can ship him frozen.
Like
It
FedEx
works.
him or UPS him.
Did you
Well, you know
see
they
it?
have the dry ice. It's all good.
That's it. Yes. Did you see on the I think it was like a news thing we got the other day. They found there was one in Arkansas and then Harvard University where they were selling body parts of
Yes.
cadavers. Oh,
Yes. Oh my God. And for the record, yes, that is my alien. His name is
Yeah,
Al.
Jockey was asking that.
is that inflated? Oh,
But
yeah, I just
I do all the weird. So I
I
just got
couldn't-
back from a
I'm not
UFO
even
conference in
surprised by it.
California. So
oh,
I
That's
love
awesome.
yeah.
love all of it.
You said you're Southern. Where are you from?
Alabama. I live in Birmingham.
Okay. I thought I was Southern when I was living in Kentucky.
Kentucky is a whole different Southern.
It
So
is.
Kentucky would like to be more Southern, I think, because a lot of people act like people here. It's all fun.
Hey.
Actually,
Well, they
you know,
might try to act like it, but I was up in the mountains where you don't want to see.
I
how
lived in the
Southern they
mountains in
were.
Tennessee. I understand. I
I
would
was
not
like,
do it
oh.
again.
Yeah, well, Emily's from Kentucky, obviously.
Yes, but you're okay. So, Emily, you might understand this statement: Mount Eden, Kentucky.
Were you
That's where
gonna
I was. You rode
say
your
something,
horse.
Jeremy, or
Hmm?
were you gonna say something, Jeremy? I thought I heard you say something.
yeah, I was going to say that, Kat, you're not too far from where Eileen lives,
Where is she?
just outside of Jackson, Mississippi.
Oh, that's not far at all.
Yeah.
That's what, 2 hours maybe.
Where is our little heifer, by the way?
She had some sort of an event, some function with her work, and it's a half-hour drive one way.
Yeah, she's been working a lot.
She has.
All rednecks, as far as Jeff Foxworthy says. Well, I will
Jeff
probably.
Foxworthy's from Georgia, so he gets to call himself that all he wants to.
You know,
So
I'll
very
proudly
exciting.
wear that name because, you know, I was raised. I was raised a doctor's daughter, but that's not how I turned out. I can
Actually, you probably are exactly like a doctor's kid.
I can, you know, help a cow give birth with one hand, and either cheeseburger with the other. I have no problem. I don't care.
Yeah.
So Emily didn't understand what you were saying, Adrian. Like she's like, what? Like I think of
Oh, no.
the
She understood. She knows if she looks up Mount Eden, it's next to Taylorsville. She knew.
I love that you're a Roy D. Mercer generation. Me too. So.
Oh my gosh, Emily. You
She is a hoot.
she is. You changed your picture. I didn't realize that.
I don't
That's one
think
of the
she's
best
changed it.
tops I've seen, by the way. Emily, I love that photo. If that I can't see it very well here, but if that's the one on your profile, love that shirt.
It is. It is.
The
How's
red
that
one?
equipment working?
Yeah.
Brad, well, the rest of it is working great. But the EM pump, I don't know if the kind of battery we put in did not agree with the machine. It tried to catch on fire.
Oh.
I don't know if it was a bad
Jeez.
battery or what happened, but we took it out of there and we're getting more batteries, see if that might be the issue.
What kind of battery was it?
It was just a 9-volt. It was so weird. We were getting ready to take it up to the Stanley because we got special permission to go investigate. So I was like, oh my gosh, they don't even do this anymore. Let's go.
They don't.
And here we are with the manager. And yeah, I think so too, Brad, because it worked fine with the other one till it died. Your equipment is actually set up in a shop. Adrian is fiery. She's even drinking scotch in a large. You know, why are you giving away my secrets?
Trade
actually-
secrets.
It's actually not scotch. It's this, but thanks.
Brad said he would send you a different one.
No. I really think it's going to work. I think it was the battery, but I did want you to know that your equipment is set up in a shop. In it's a metaphysical shop here in town that we're a part of, and it's actually showing people how to use equipment that come in and are just curious. So it's there.
So, Kat, if you didn't know, Brad is our resident equipment maker. And
I mean, yeah, that's what he is.
us.
Well, I would love to talk to him. Send me a request, Brad, because I'm always looking for people to try to make things that I think of. And I am not the person that is very adept at putting ideas into reality.
That's me. I can come up with ideas all day long, but it's like my mind is not sciencey enough to figure that out.
No, it does
Well-
not, Brad. Hey, Scott. Good to see you.
Hey, Scotty, how you doing?
Okay,
Oh.
I just sent Brad your Facebook
Thank you.
page.
Thanks.
Emily, if you figure out or start losing weight, please let me know how you're doing it, because menopause sucks. I went from 130 pounds to, well, this.
Well, I'll tell you what, Emily is fab. So
She
she
is.
probably
She's
has some
beautiful.
really good tips.
She is beautiful.
She is beautiful.
We love her.
Oh yeah, she's
And her
she's always-
personality matches too. So that's nice.
Yes. Yes. My knowledge is limited, but I can try making new things. Hey, that's where we start. We try. Was I just nice to shit?
Have you ruined your whole record for the day?
I think I did.
Oh man, I hate when that happens. So I do.
Do you pimp out vehicles, Brad?
What? I have no idea what he's talking about right now. And
Oh,
Emily's new story should
I
be
know
called
what he's
Forever 24.
Oh, pimping up your ride, really making it fancy.
I hope. Okay. I'm gonna stay out of that one because I don't know.
It's
Love
like
you
how
right back,
people
girl.
buy old houses and then they flip them, make them all fancy, look brand new. That's what he's talking about doing with the cars.
That's
That
nice.
reminds
That's a
me.
skill.
No, Emily, you've always been a sweetheart. I actually wanted to. I don't know. Okay, this is how old I am. I'm gonna just. I did not really know what Juneteenth meant until this year.
I learned last year.
I'm like, and
And I live in Birmingham.
you
I
never
mean,
watched
you know.
it.
So-
Right? Yeah, and I didn't know what it meant. And where I work is all inclusive and actually celebrates everything, everybody. So we did
It's a good way to be.
It is, and everybody feels so loved there, and it's awesome. But we're going to do the Juneteenth thing later on, but we had our Pride Month,
Mhm.
and it was so cool because my husband he says, why do we do Pride Month? It should be a pride every day. Proud of yourself. It doesn't matter who or what you're with. You should be proud. Nobody should ask. And I said, yeah, but this is kind of cool that they get to show their family pictures and, things like that. So that's what we did.
Well, they should share family pictures all the time. They should be sitting in their office, on their desk, wherever they want to look at them. I mean,
Absolutely. But we're remote.
but actually, any pictures have been kind of around, anything family related in the last
Lauren.
10 years or so have just kind of not been quite as accepted in a workplace.
Right.
And I
Right.
think that that's because they're trying to make the workplace its own home.
Yeah.
So,
Which,
and-
we work remotely, most of us. So what we get to do is like on Teams and through emails.
right.
And it was just so neat because one of our girls has been out for, I want to say it's been almost 9 months now, where they had the shooting here in Denver
Mhm.
at the LBGT
Yeah.
something I club. And it's called the Q Club. And all she was doing was the door. And she got shot 3 times. She made it, and she's just now back to work. It's been like 9-10 months now.
It's been almost.
And so
Yeah,
they
she made it.
memorialized her
Back to
and
work
for her support
now.
to
It's
the
been
community.
almost.
I thought that was just so cool.
So she made it.
Memorialized
What's-
her.
Where's
and
the,
her-
where's that coming from? What the hell?
That was just so cool.
What is that?
Sounds like feedback of some sort.
Yeah,
I don't know where it was coming from either, but it was while Adrian was talking that I was hearing
Jeremy,
it.
That was
Jeremy
me.
said. Yeah, that was
you,
Jeremy.
of all people, know how to stop that crap. What are you doing?
It happens when I go to reply to somebody on the Universal page. It
Oh.
automatically has the volume turned on.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay. Need to get off nearly 2 a.m. early rise. All
Well,
right. Good night, jockey.
Because
Good night.
Juggy. Yeah, he's from Scotland, so it's got to be pretty late out in the UK.
it is. I have friends in Scottish Paranormal, and actually Rick McCollum is out there for this month doing all kinds of paranormal investigations everywhere.
I've been
So-
following his stuff. I'm good friends with Rick.
Me too.
Finally got to meet up with him last June.
Where did
And
you
I was-
meet?
I met him while he was at Old Paulden Jail.
I was supposed to be there. What did you think of it?
I liked the jail. It was really, really hot that night. So
It is
I-
hot there.
Yeah, so I didn't really get to enjoy it very much, but I really like that jail.
Well, they've got they have central heat and air now, but the cell blocks are not air conditioned.
Right.
And
Well, where
that's
it got
kinda tough.
really hot was up on the top floor,
Yeah.
in the kitchen area.
Did you get activity up there? Because that's where Audrey's room is also.
I did not.
I don't
I'm-
get a lot in the kitchen. I do get some sometimes in the little girl's bedroom.
Okay.
But
No, I actually thought that you were there because Rick kept
I was
mentioning
supposed to be.
that.
Yeah. I FaceTimed in.
Yeah.
We FaceTimed. And the ghost told me, hey. So it was fun. They're used to me.
When you guys did that, I was actually with the other group because we split up into either 2 or 3 groups, and I was with another group. And halfway through the night, we started switching people around, and I ended up with Rick.
Well,
Oh,
Did
boy.
you? I mean, isn't he fun to investigate with?
He is.
And he's so good with EVP. He's really good with the K2. And I was very skeptical about K2s. Really, I kind of gotten past that. But when I met Rick, we actually first met at Scarefest a few years ago, and we started. We just hit it off. And last year, we were in Scotland together on a tour. He was a talent on a tour, and a bunch of people from here obviously went from the US. But the tour was crap. The company was crap. But we didn't get to do any really of the investigations that were sold to us. But we did get to go to Balgony Castle and do an investigation there. Everything was daytime because they wouldn't pop for a bus at night. So we didn't get to go to Bannockburn House or any of the other cool places. But that's okay because we got to do other interesting things.
Mhm.
And we went off by ourselves to investigate some.
14
But
hours.
Scotland is
Love you,
so
Scotty.
flippin' haunted. It is so wonderful.
Take care,
And
Scott.
Love you,
Thanks,
bud. Have a good day.
Rick has told me a couple times that I need to get out there to Scotland. It's just a matter of being able to.
well, I did not get permission. I told my husband I had scheduled it. So, it was just kind of but he also knows Rick, and he knows our relationship, and that Rick is just a really good friend who likes me enough that he would probably defend me if he had to. Right. So David was like, I can't believe you're going to Scotland, but if you're going, at least he's going to be there. And my friend Lori, who you also met at Old Paulding Jail, the big redhead tall girl, beautiful redhead. She is
There was a lot of
also
people that night.
she's a former police employee, and
That would
so
work.
well trained. So
That
I
would
had
work.
plenty of people that would go to the mat for me if I had to have somebody do that. But Lori Dorsey, if you met her, you would probably not forget her because she has got the biggest heart, the best smile, and she is a serious paranormal investigator, and she loves everything to do with it. And she also loves the old potting jail.
Lauren,
Wow.
Scott,
Lori Dorsey.
my
Lori
Scott,
Dorsey.
Scotty.
You guys, Lauren said something like this to me before. Sorry, Kat. Did you guys
What,
know
Scott?
about this before? Yeah.
Really? Oh, that's
I'm
cool.
I'm pulling up the case log that I have. Yeah, she was there that night.
Yeah.
But I don't recall meeting her.
Oh wow.
I did meet Cheryl and Mikey.
Yes.
And I also got to meet Scott Fithian and Jenna Kay.
Oh, they're awesome.
Most everybody else except for Shelley and Vincent is pretty much a blur to me.
Well, there were several people there, weren't there?
There was like 15 of them.
Yeah.
Now there was one lady who was going around. She had, what did she have? It was like a setup like this.
SLS camera. That was Lori.
Yeah.
Okay.
SLS.
She is a SLS girl, and she has a film. I was sitting on the floor, leaning up against the jail cell. I think we were in the first floor cell block, and she has an image, and there's a figure over me reaching down, and she was like, "Are you trying to touch Kat?" And I heard her, and I just kind of put my hand up, and it reached down to touch my hand.
Oh, did you
And
feel
I
it?
was like, I did. But it was just
Aw.
like, whoa,
Wow.
whoa, this is the coolest thing ever. And she has it on video. So,
Aw.
Did you feel it?
it was, huh?
Did you feel it?
I did feel it.
Mhm.
Yes, it was an electricity. It was not cold. I thought it would be so cold. Everybody always says it is. And I've been touched by spirits before, and I've never felt cold. It's always electric.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I have heard people say that. Kat, what do you do in the
Well,
paranormal field?
I investigate. I am I'm a very strong empath. I am sensitive. I've had people tell me I'm psychic. I never claim that because it's not consistent enough for me to say that. But I recognize spirits. They know who I am when I get places, which is kind of weird to me because my name gets called a lot, and I used to get called names, but not so much anymore. And it usually started with a B, and I'm like, I'm a very nice woman. What is your issue? And it was just usually people that were trying to be intimidating
Mhm.
because they were threatened, I think, because there were so many people there trying to experience them.
Yeah.
Because I really think that I know, like at Paulding, the very first time I was there, they had a fit. I was actually concerned. I was trying to do a live broadcast from there. And Jeremy, you'll understand when I say I put my computer on the table in the first floor block. Okay. And so you know what happened there. And I was, kind of thinking, well, maybe this will have an effect, but thinking, I bet they don't even care. There was actually an inmate who was hung in that area. So, yeah, I was listening to, steel doors or whatever, iron doors slamming and people stomping around, and my computer was being messed with, and I was hardwired. Nothing should have gone wrong with my computer.
Mhm.
But as I was sitting there, all this stuff is happening. I'm hearing these doors and nothing is moving. Right. And I was with a different network at that time. And my producer said, because I'm freaking about my computer, and he's like, I can hear you. I'll let you know if I can hear them. I'll let you know if you need to leave. And I was like, good deal. So I'm going to see if I can get evidence because I'm thinking he's taping. Right.
Mhm.
And, I mean, it was crazy. And finally, I got a message through Skype that said, it's time to go pick your stuff up and leave that area. And so I did. And I put my stuff in the office and went into the kitchen where Shelly, as Jeremy knows, has a portal that she runs in there sometimes. So she turned it on and we started communicating. And I was like, I'm here to help. I'm here to do a show so that people will know about the jail because Shelly bought this as it was being auctioned off. You're lucky it's still here because of her. And I'm trying to help her make people aware that you are here so that she can have people come to learn about you and make money to keep the jail open, to keep it viable. And so this guy goes, really? And I'm like, yes, really? I mean, seriously? So he's like, oh. And from that point on, the tone changed. I did not put my computer back in there. But I still had a live broadcast. It was still good. And from that point on, Shelly is on my network. Shelly broadcasts often from her jail, particularly in the summer if she has events coming up and whatever. And sometimes you'll hear them because people can't hear me because I'm producing her, right? But they know it's me because they can hear me talking to her, or they just know because every so often they'll be, it's Cat Hobson. It's hi Cat, and it's gotten to where it's a lot more rare because I think the novelty is worn off, but they haven't seen me in a while. So sometimes I'll still get a hiya Cat, but it's kind of funny when you're sitting there and, it's almost embarrassing because I feel like I should see them more. But I think they know where I live. And,
Oh yeah.
so I think sometimes I do get visitations, but they don't stay because I have a rule that I try to enforce, which is, this is my space. I understand, like if I go to Sloss just wandering or whatever, sometimes you'll have things that are like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. What's up? And it's weird because sometimes you'll get activity at home that's not normally here. And because usually I have like my dogs that have passed or family or, but not often strangers.
Yeah.
But so I quit doing EVPs here. Because I'm just like, I don't know who you are, so I don't want to, and I'm not going to entertain you.
Yeah.
So you don't feel like somebody that's mine, so you're going to have to go back where you came from. I'm so sorry, but see ya. And because I was about several years ago, I was pretty hurt and I had to be in bed on drugs for several months. And my dad had just recently passed. All of my family was here. My dad, my grandmothers, and my daughter-in-law was my caregiver. And she is sensitive, but she did not know the stuff happened like that. And it was odd for her. And she finally, she saw my dad. I was like, really? And she was like, yeah, he was kind of like leaning against the door frame. And that was your dad. So I was like, thanks for watching out for me.
Oh.
And I used to do my shows downstairs in the basement office. And I have a foosball table in the playroom outside the office. And my exercise ball, the big balls that you do the ab work on and stuff, was on my foosball table. And so I'm on the air doing an interview, and the ball starts moving because I look around, like if I'm focusing on hearing something, I'm not really looking at whatever I'm looking at. I'm listening to my guest. And the ball was moving. And I was like, wow, those men must have been out of, somebody must have been playing with the foosball rods. Well,
Mhm.
no one had, because I was the only person who had gone down. And I'm sitting there watching it, and it keeps doing it. And then the ball jumps off of the foosball table and rolls around on the floor. And I was like, really? And I was on the air with a sidekick named Andrew, and it was so funny because we went to a break, and I was like, I need you to hang on just a minute. And
Yeah.
I muted my mic, and I was like, you stop that. You're distracting me from my guest. And, because it had continued to roll on this flat concrete floor, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, how are you still moving? The momentum would have stopped. But it was because I'm trying to apply reason to a supernatural moment, and it was just like, well, okay. It was different. But I love when stuff like that happens once I have time to process it. When it's actually, especially if I'm on the air and something is happening in the room with me. And that's
Mhm.
happened a lot. But that's why I'm upstairs for the most part, too. But plus, the stairs are still a little hard every so often, but not for much longer. But it's just so weird to be downstairs. I know David's in bed asleep. I know the dogs are, in there with him, whatever. And I hear somebody walking around upstairs. And I'm just like, nope, that's not the best thing. And I don't mind. I mean, I really don't mind, but I've had something that was sitting here that I had to get help removing. And so my house is very protected.
Mhm.
For it to be anybody moving around, it would just about have to be related to me.
Mhm.
But if I don't know they're here, and why are they upstairs? Are they looking for me? They should know I'm downstairs, right?
Mhm.
So I stay up here most of the time to do my work. So
Yeah. Have you ever been to Old Park Hotel?
to which one?
Old Park Hotel in Ballinger,
No,
Texas.
I haven't.
That was my first paranormal experience.
Really?
And,
Whoa.
this team took me like, yeah, you'll experience something there. And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. And
Famous
I didn't
last
believe
words.
any of this because as a child, at 8 years old, my mom died. So
I'm sorry.
well, actually, it turned out really good because I would have never gotten in this field. I was like, why? If they can come back, she would have come back to say hi.
Right.
So, no, I don't think they exist. And so we went, and I still kept that mind frame. Yep, they don't exist. And so I'm walking through the hallways like an idiot, all by myself, walking around. Finally, I went to bed. My daughter was with me. She was 25 and had the team with me. 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning. I get woke up. Hey, you want to go record? It's like, yeah, let's go. I get up, go. And I had done research for weeks on this
Right.
place. Like, who is there? And they said Killing Jim Miller was there. They called him the Deacon. And I'm like,
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah. Okay. I'm up to
I'm like,
speed with you.
whatever, And but he didn't own it. He didn't, he was frequented there. And he died in Ada, Oklahoma. So, I was like, yeah, whatever. This guy turns the spirit box on. And I'm like, you're making so much noise, I can't hear anything.
Right.
Because this is just going, shh, shh, shh. I can't hear anything. And I'm up against the wall in the room. And all of a sudden I hear a whistle, like a guy whistling for his horse. I'm like, did you hear that? And he goes, no. Okay, never mind. And then it's on the other side of me, does the same thing. But I had just got done calling out his name, the last words he said when he died, where he died, his kids' names. And then I asked him about the money that was in some kind of a saddlebags that somebody else took. And I got that, but I never got touched. I never, anything. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I thought, well, if he didn't hear it, I'm just imagining things. And we went back through the film. You could hear it 8 times. And it was caught on camera. So I'm like, yes. And didn't think any more about it and moved on. And about 2 weeks later, I heard it at my house. I lived in the country, no neighbors in New Mexico. And I heard that whistle. It was like midnight. I just come home from work. I'm like,
No.
And I said, oh, hell, somebody's got to be calling their dogs out there or something. I went to bed that night. For 2 years, we had one of those. They were from Tractor Supply. And it had a little cowboy hat, a big Texas spur, and a bottle opener on this piece of wood.
Yeah.
And it had been in our bed for 2 years. And never thought anything about it. Went to bed. My husband wakes up screaming. And I said, what is your problem? I turned the light on and he's bleeding. What the hell?
Oh my gosh.
That Texas spur went through his ear and into his head.
Oh my gosh.
I said, okay, you know what? Now I know I'm putting this together and we got to get rid of this.
Yes.
And I did. I was like, you can't do this. I'll go back and see you there, but we cannot do this. You cannot come here and hurt people. And it never happened again. And I never heard the whistle again. But what's strange is that's usually how I hear spirits is whistling.
Mhm.
And it's different types of whistles, but it's the whistle that I hear.
That is interesting.
I don't know why, but if there's one there, that's usually what I hear first. Unless I've been trying to work on, mediumship and the whole bit, but that's internal. That's in your head. You hear
That
words.
is. Yeah.
So, but to audibly hear the whistle, I'm like, wait, oh, that's not my imagination.
Well, now in mediumship, you can also verbally hear them.
Yeah, see, I
mean,
can't.
My mother passed a couple of years ago, and I was in Ohio on my way to the Mansfield Reformatory. And my friend and I were in the car together, and we had just left her house in Columbus, just setting off, and her car smelled like laundry, like really yummy, freshly dried laundry.
Mhm.
And I looked at her, I said, do you have laundry in here? She was like, no. And I was like, really? I said, I'm going to do an EVP. I have my phone with me. And so I just opened my voice recorder and started. And I was like, I'm going to ask if there are men, but, given that it's laundry, most men don't like to do laundry. But I went ahead and said, are you a man? Are you a woman? Are you a mom? Are you Katie's mom who had recently passed? And then I said, are you my mom? And because she had recently passed, and then moved on. And when I was replaying everything, I got no answer until I said, are you my mom? And she said, yes. And it was my mom's voice. And I was like, hello.
Yeah.
And, so when I heard that, Katie was tripping out too, but she was driving, so she couldn't do much. But I was just like, that is so cool, because I would not have thought that my mom would do that. But I also didn't know until my mom was in a retirement home dealing with Alzheimer's. I had shown up to take her to lunch, and while we were having lunch, she was like, tell me about your radio show. And I did. It's paranormal experienced, and I talked to people who have abilities or just like to investigate, or people that have had UFO experiences. I talk about anything anomalous, and I love it. She was like, it's really irritating when they won't let you sleep at night. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah. She said, when I was little, they would just be lined up by my bed wanting to talk to me. And I just finally was like, I'm little and I need to go to sleep. And if you want to talk to somebody, you need to go talk to my mom, because I'm going to bed. Now go away. And I was like, get the heck out. So at first I thought it was the Alzheimer's, right?
Mhm.
But her description was so like what used to be what I thought was a dream,
Mhm.
right? And I'm like, what on earth? So I talked to her about it later when she was having a lucid day and there was no indication that anything was going on. And I was like, do you remember telling me this? She said, oh, honey, they would make you crazy. They just, once they know that you can hear them,
Hmm.
but when I was little, I didn't know.
Right.
And I'm like, I know, right? So, and apparently my grandmother was also that person. And it just was like, oh dear.
And it's
Okay.
something you don't talk about. I guess back then they didn't talk about that. You didn't tell your
Well,
kids
people
about
just
it.
did it. I mean, people just did it.
Hmm.
And it wasn't, you didn't have people on TV making a big deal out of it. You didn't have
Mhm.
people that were, you know, I mean, you just didn't. And that wasn't so far away from people being really harmed for doing things like that.
Right.
So, it was, you did you never want to always be too different, right?
Hmm.
Back then.
Yeah.
But she was
Yeah.
a kid with these people lined up with messages for her, I guess, to tell people or whatever. I don't know what exactly they were wanting other than conversation.
Yeah.
But she was strong enough that she was like, I'm tired, go away. Go talk to my mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, that blew me away. I had no idea.
And that's the strange thing about Alzheimer's. That's mom and dad. I know they're in the beginning stages. We see
Yeah.
it. And I have talked to them about, I used to work in a nursing home. I didn't last long because I could not handle the way they treat them. But
Yeah.
I did tell her, and I said, Mom, we're not leaving. We're not going anywhere. If you want to die in this home, that's where you'll die. And she said, but what if I get mean? I said, so what? You get mean, you get mean. I know it's not you.
Yes.
You know it's not you. I said, yes, it's going to hurt, but that doesn't mean, I'm going to be mean to you. And she's like, okay, just please don't ever put me in a home. Don't ever put me in a home.
Well, see, my mother chose hers. My mother
Right.
wanted, because it was a nice place to live before
Yeah.
she got to where she wasn't able to do for herself.
Mm-hmm.
And she actually was doing pretty well. She'd had to go into the memory care side of it, but she was still very well taken care of. And the problem was that she fell and went into the hospital, and it was during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And she was there for 10 days before her caregiver reached out to me and said, I'm old. I don't want to go into a COVID environment, but your mother has been there for 10 days, and, we need to know what's going on because she's going to have to relocate.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my mom had to be fed because she was not, but she was not the hand to mouth coordination thing anymore. So when I got there, they hadn't fed her for 10 days. And they lied to me about it, but the food trays were there. So not only
Jeez.
did they not feed her, they left the food there where she could smell it. I mean, the epitome
Oh my
of
God.
cruel, right?
Yeah, and
The
that's why I
epitome of
quit.
cruel.
Yeah.
And when I walked in and she saw me, she was like lit up.
Yeah.
And we
She
had been
knows what I want.
estranged, but we had been estranged a lot of my life, right? Adult life. But when I saw her and she saw me, it was like I'm sitting there going, "Oh dear God." And she's like, "Oh, thank God."
Yep.
And she was like, "I love you." I said, "I love you too. What's going on?" And it was just like, um, it was awful. And it was too late to
Yeah.
come back from that.
Yeah.
And so I didn't know what to do. I'd never dealt with that before. I mean, ever.
Yeah.
And so fortunately the woman, I was looking for places, I didn't know what to do. And the woman that ran that place that my mom had chosen called me one day and she was like, we do hospice. And this is where your mother lived and is loved. And you don't have to change her environment. I can go ahead and put her in her original apartment with her original roommate. And I know she won't know, but she might. And, you know, we would love to have your mom here instead of you trying to run all over town placing her and
Right.
not knowing what's going to happen. And, you know, so I thought that was pretty cool. And so that's where my mother finished her time, you know, here.
Yeah.
So, but we found caregivers that could stay when I wasn't. I mean, they were 24/7,
Right.
and they just worked 2 shifts. But it was if you had to choose a method to do that, God forbid, right? Um, I think that was with somebody you love that's taking care of you. And she became friends with the ladies that sat while she could still communicate well. I mean, but I feel her, and like she was in that car with us. And there's a photograph. My mother was a member of that Red Hat Society. You know, the purple and red, and yeah, zaniness might be a southern thing, but it was so cute because it was weird. She wore purple all the time. She always wore khaki slacks, really. And there's a picture of me at Mansfield that same night because I had told her, you know, if you want to go, come along, you know, whatever. But I was walking. They had the parapsychon the next day, right? I was there for my friend Lori, who was at the jail with Jeremy's birthday. So we're in
I'm surprised I
solitaire.
didn't see you there because I was there. I was there last year. I'm surprised
Well,
we didn't see you there.
Well, we leave because I have to get home, and I've just never gone to that parapsychon because usually I'm in and out for Lori's birthday, and it's not always on the weekend. But it was funny because there's a picture that somebody took when I was downstairs in the solitaire. They had all the chairs upstairs, so we were walking around. I was going around a corner to see if there was one stuck back there. And somebody took a picture. My friend Vicky is walking in front of me, and then I'm walking behind her. And behind me is this big black mass that looks like it's reaching for me. But between me and this mass is a purple and khaki cloud.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, whoa. What? First of all, what's that big black thing that's trying to mess with me? And why was it doing that? Because I'm going back there next year and I'm going to find out because, no.
Yeah.
So, I'm so glad I asked my mom if she wanted to come.
Yeah.
Because I was just like,
Yeah.
holy cow, who knew that she would do that or could do that, you know? But she was, and I firmly believe that. I really, truly believe that because what were the odds of it being those colors?
Yep.
If it was just a humidity cloud or something of that nature with the black, I mean, and it was a form. The black was a form.
Yeah.
It didn't look human, but it had appendages that looked like they were reaching for me.
Yep.
And it was just like, I don't know what I think of that, but I'm so glad that other cloud was there.
Yeah.
You know, of
She
course
was
I
there for a
couldn't
reason.
possibly, yeah. Of course I couldn't possibly be paranormal, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. A lot of the mediums that don't even know, you know, about my mom or that she died when I was young, they will say, well, of course, after that, I got to meet my adopted mom or my mom that actually had me. The one that died was my adopted mom. That's all I knew.
right.
But I got to meet my real mom at 24 years old. And I just,
Really?
thank God I wasn't raised with her. Thank God. That's, you know, I loved her. But, you know, they say just because you came out of somebody that bonds there. No, it's not.
It's not.
It's if you're not, it's just not. And so I was like, okay. And I've had like Jennifer Lee is one of my best friends. And she's a medium. And one day she says, I messaged her after my ex-husband died. I'm like, look, this has got to go because the day after he died, which we were separated for a long time, but we were good friends after we co-parented very well. And
That's a gift.
it really is. And he hit me. That's the reason I left. But I held no hard feelings because that was the past. We have our kid. That's it. That's where we're at. So every time we'd exchange a kid, he'd always give me a hug or whatever, even with my husband there. And she said, I told her he had passed, and I said, there's these two owls in New Mexico sitting in the middle of God knows where, yelling at me. And she said, wasn't his name Hootie? Well, that was what he went by. He was Indian.
Yes.
And she said, wasn't his name Hootie? I said, yeah. She said, okay. She said, just, I'm going to message you tomorrow. Okay. Moved on. She goes, there's yellow. I don't know what is with yellow. I like sunflowers. I'm from Kansas. I don't know. And she says, no, there's a kitchen window you look out of. Your mom's standing there watching you. What? Why would she be watching me out the window? She can come in the house. What? I don't understand. And she says, I don't know. It's something about that window. She said, but there's a tin. I said, okay. She says, there's a picture of you on a horse. I said, I don't think so. And she said, there's a picture of you on a horse. And he is showing me that picture, that he loved this picture. It's like, okay. I don't know, but I'll believe you. I just don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember ever being on a horse with him. My son was cleaning out the house about a year ago, and they were getting ready to demolish it. And he says, hey, Mom, do you remember this? Oh.
Yeah.
I said, I may not so much remember this. Okay.
They're getting a hammer.
I'll check.
All right.
I said, I don't so much remember this, but I remember what someone said about it. And so I messaged her with this picture. I said, is this what you saw? And she said, I never got to see the picture. I just know. And I said, where'd you find that? And he says, I don't know. It was in this old nasty coffee. Okay. And that was enough for me. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I went to go visit his grave because it was an old Indian cemetery that's like maybe an acre. And it's all pretty much family. My son stands there, half Indian, laughs at me, my white mama. He looks over, he said, Mom, do you see that? The tree? I said, never mind. Later, I asked him, what do you see? Son, what are you seeing? He said, it's an elemental. What? Excuse me? I said, it's broad daylight. What do you? He said, it's here all the time. I mow this place. I take care of this place. I said, then you deal with that thing and you let it know that I'm just here to visit and I'm leaving because we're not playing this game. But it's just so weird how you can get messages and know who it is, what it is. It's just so strange. And I can't do that myself. I can read pictures, whether they're dead or alive. Somebody will send me a picture. I can read them. And I can.
That's a gift.
Things. Yeah.
And a helpful gift.
Sometimes, because I'm still scared to do it because I'm not, I was never trained. I was never, any of that. I'm just, hey, maybe I can do this. And I was right when I did
Most
it.
people are not trained.
Yeah.
I mean, and to be able to do that is a tool
Mm-hmm.
that you are gifted. I have friends who are psychics. One of them, the one I know well, says that she helps with missing children and missing people, and she can see through the victim's eyes.
Yeah.
But one of her friends sees through the killer's eyes.
Oh.
And I would die over that. I'm so glad I don't have that gift.
Yeah.
Because, I just don't think I would cope with that. And
I don't think I could either.
My friend that sees through the victim's eyes suffers enough.
Right.
But to see the person being harmed, that would be awful.
That was like a friend of mine. I'm in a group that we do missing people. And it's just a bunch of us. And, you know, if we pick up on something, we say it. You know, some may be right, some may be wrong. And, you know, we just all try to put the pieces together is pretty much what we do. We're not obviously going to take this to the police or, you know, say, hey, we know this, but
They would listen, just so you know.
do they?
They do.
I had a friend of mine put a picture up, and I had no idea what happened, what was going on. I apparently was off Facebook too long, and I thought, oh yeah, she knows me, so I just did it. I said, this is what I see. Come to find out, this was somebody very close to her, and if
Oh.
I'd have known that, I would have never opened my mouth ever. But come to find out, I was right. But you know, things like that, you don't trust yourself enough to open your mouth about things unless you think it's just some stranger that, oh yeah, here's what I see, and you feel comfortable enough to say it. That's why I don't
To
go
me a
out.
couple years ago.
Huh?
You did that to me a couple years ago.
That's when I was just learning. And I
And
still,
that's really a good gift, though. I mean, it seems like it might not be. And the police they may not act like they're going to listen to you to start with,
right.
but your information will be taken
Yeah.
with what you're giving them, and they will use that.
A friend of mine actually got registered with the police to
Mhm.
do that.
You can do that.
I don't ever feel I'll ever be good enough for that. But what would scare me is if I actually saw the visions or whatever, you know, of what was happening to someone and went to the police, I'd be like, you know, way too damn much and you're coming in. That's it. You're done. And that would be my luck. But
Well, as a rule, if they know that that's what you do, then they're not going to do that.
right. And really,
And
I
they can
don't-
test. I mean, you would have alibis. Your
Right.
DNA wouldn't be there. I mean, you wouldn't be
Right.
tied to it, but
Right.
in case you got a rookie that was way gung ho or something. But
Yeah.
you
And
know,
that's
the
what-
odds of
That's what we have around here. But yeah, it's one of the. She's getting images of what happened to me all the while she hid my body. Oh, there is 1,000 videos, Brad, of me saying I'm going to hurt you. So I have
and
no
bury
doubt-
you with your butt sticking out so she can kick it. I'm
That's
going to buy
it.
tickets for that. I'm buying
That's it.
tickets. I'm just saying.
I'm going to
Just
walk by
saying.
and smack. How you like that?
It hasn't even occurred yet, and we already have the evidence.
I swear, if something ever happens to Brad, I'm going down. That's all there is to it. I am
Well,
going down.
Well, see, but in my instance, it's only postmortem that I know what you're going to do. So you're good.
Right.
You're
My
good with
thing
me.
is, do you see like if you see a picture, do you read eyes?
Yes, but only the eyes. I mean, and it's not every picture.
Oh, okay.
Not every picture is mine.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, eyes are what move me.
Yeah, to me, that's the only way I get my information is the eyes. It's like you can tell a story.
Yeah.
And that's the mistake I made is told the story.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it wasn't a mistake, but I didn't want to hurt my friend in the process.
Well, but you didn't know, and if she knew what you could do, then she shouldn't have done that to you. So,
yeah, she just put it up
that's
in the
fair.
group, like, here we go. And I'm like, oh, I know her. Let's do this.
And like I said, but that's what that group was, right?
Yeah.
So if she
Yeah.
knew that that's what was a possibility, that's not on you that
No.
you read what she gave you. That's not your fault.
No.
So
but
don't
I
feel
just
bad
felt
about that.
so
I mean,
bad. I was like, oh my God, honey, I'm so sorry. And,
yeah.
you know, come to find out later, it's her husband. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And she said, no, I knew most of this. That's why, you know, I just didn't know all of it. I'm like, oh, okay. So I don't know all of it either. So we're going to leave it right there. Okay. You only get what you are given. That's
You do. I mean, but when you're given, it's for a reason. So,
right. And then sometimes they don't leave. That's the problem. They just stick around and go, geek, geek, geek. Like, you're not in the bathroom with me. Go away. You have
Oh.
nothing to see.
You have to have your boundaries. Okay. Mine are You don't come in the bathroom. I don't care how much of an emergency you think it is.
Mm-hmm.
You don't come in the bathroom whether I'm in the shower or not. You
Uh-huh.
don't come in. When I go to the Old Paulding jail, because I spend the night there when I go, I'm like, bathrooms are off limits.
Yeah.
Changing is off limits.
Mm-hmm.
I am an old married woman who loves her husband.
Yep.
No peeping.
Yeah.
And when I go to bed, no noise. I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
But, don't. The very first night after we had that scene, right? My first night to spend the night there, I had to take a shower there, girl. And I was just like,
You're looking around. It like
I think I'm
there's
just going to
men
stink.
watching me. No, there's
I'm
men
just going to
watching.
stink. I'm just going to not. But I just said, but I also have a blessed crucifix cross,
Mhm.
and I hung it on the door after I had said off limits.
Yeah.
Off limits.
Yep.
So when I went upstairs, I was like, just don't wake me up. I have a 9-hour drive tomorrow. This has been a long day.
Right.
Don't wake me up.
Mhm.
And I said, I don't care if you're in here. Just don't mess with me. I've got to get some sleep.
Mhm.
And so I did. I mean, I would hear movement, but they never actively messed with me or tried to
Right.
disturb me.
Right.
Those are some really, really interesting spirits that are there. And Shelley, the owner, is doing some fascinating research and experimentation relevant to spirits because they're law enforcement
Right.
in large part who are there
Mhm.
and their reactions and their behaviors on 9/11. And they
Yeah.
leave. There's no one there.
Yeah.
And they brought back people with them when they come back. So it's an
Mhm.
interest. Her show is called Ghost Talk Radio on Tuesday nights. And
I've heard of that.
yeah, that's her show.
Where have I
And
heard that?
But,
And-
and that also used to be the name that Angie had for her show too.
Yeah.
There we
oh,
go.
well, there you go.
Never mind. There we go.
So, but Shelley's done that show for oh gosh, 6 years I think. But she
wow.
is she has her archives are you'll see a bunch of stuff. It'll say like 9/11 and because Lori Dorsey does a lot of the research with her on that topic,
Mhm.
and it really is fascinating. It's worth giving a listen to some of that because
If you can send me that link, I would
will.
love to hear it.
I'll do that.
And your show as well. I tend to save things and then be able to watch them because I'm off Friday, Saturday, and Sundays.
Oh, okay. Well, I air I host Fate Magazine Radio. That's on Sunday nights.
Okay.
And my Paranormal Experience is on Wednesdays. So
That's okay. I can still go back and watch it, right?
absolutely. Well, most of them are audio only.
Okay.
I
Okay.
started playing with doing videos, so I have a few. But I love. Oh, what did he bring you?
I'm not. Oh, I think he made Chinese out of chicken.
Oh my word, that
It's-
looks delicious.
What is it?
Garlic honey chicken.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, good job. That looks delicious.
It does look good.
And I'm saying this because like I had barbecue, so I'm not even hungry, and it still looks good.
He does amazing. He really does. It's nice to have somebody who actually helps instead of my dinner's not on the table yet. Yeah,
My
and it's
husband
gonna
does-
be.
My husband does most of our cooking in self-preservation.
Yeah,
So-
and I work 10-hour days so I can have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off instead of just Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Because I like to go fishing, and yeah. So I get straight down here because of his autism. He has to have that schedule,
Yes.
and I get straight down here and start cooking. Well, sometimes it's still 8 o'clock before I get dinner on the table because I don't get down here till after 6. So
Right.
crock pots are amazing, but
Oh,
you can
yeah.
only eat so much out of them, and then I'm done because I like Mexican food.
I love Mexican food.
And
Jeremy too. I saw that.
I fed him enchiladas when he was here.
I stayed with them for what, 4 days?
Yeah, and I made tamales for the first time last weekend.
How'd they go?
The masa is what I was worried about, and they were
Right.
really good. The meat, it needs a little help with the seasoning because I followed a recipe and we
Was
need
it bland
more
or hot?
garlic. Yeah, it was just bland. We need more garlic. We need more heat. We need more onion. We need flavor.
I tell you, I found that cumin is my best friend when I'm making Mexican food. It
My
just cranks things right up.
They used to call that in New Mexico, they called it Mexican sweat because
Yes.
we ate so much of it that, like, when you're sweating, you smell that.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, I'll go with that. I don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah. I had some friends so there's like, each town has their own group page of like free sites or whatever. And somebody was like, who's making tamales? I'm like, well, I tried my hand at it the first time. And then, of course, the other people chimed in. I make them. No, you let them have them until I can perfect it. You just get it from there. But I do make menudo. And they're like, what?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's not something
I've
unless
never
you.
heard of it either.
Yeah, Nick, you wouldn't eat
So
it.
not
I
just
promise
me.
you. It's
Okay.
menudo is cow stomach.
Oh. Yeah, I don't
And,
know if I could eat that.
You couldn't if you knew what it was.
If you didn't know, it wouldn't be a big deal.
I
What
could
else is
feed it
it?
to you when you get here, and you wouldn't even know. You put now most of them do pig feet in it. I don't. I do cow tail, and gives it that chicken beef and and pork flavor because I put the pork seasoning in it. But the cow stomach, and I put jalapenos in it, which normal menudo does not have. I just want that little bit of stew-like, I guess. Onions, and you cook it up. And by the time you cook it up, it is so tender. But smelling it before that, you want to open them windows and just air it out because no, Nick is like the kid from that. Commercials.
Mikey, give it to Mikey. Mikey will eat anything.
No, Nick will not eat anything. No.
So now I gotta wonder, what did I really eat when I was over at your house?
I know, right? You're thinking about that now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Thinking about it.
In those enchiladas?
Yeah, like what was that good flavor? What was that secret recipe?
You got to watch out for secret recipes, Nick. I mean, really.
Grandma that was in a closet.
Oh
Yeah, whatever. No,
I point this out quickly. This was I agree with Lauren.
There's lots of things I eat that are Mexican that actually they come from like the slaves, way back from the slaves, because they were given the nasty parts of the animals and said make do, and they made do and they made them amazing. So
no, you won't, Brad.
Thank you,
Brad. No,
Thank you.
you really no, you won't. You like food. Don't give me that. Don't.
She's not going to give you an option. You will be eating. Kat, tell us about the network that you run.
Oh, well, I started it because my producer disappeared the night before I was going to be interviewing George Norrie. Kind of a big deal, right? So, oh man, piece of junk that guy is. And he's back doing his production again. And I should be more patient because I know that he is an addict or whatever. But after he got through with his rehab and stuff, he used my credit card to buy another station on Spreaker. And I had to go through an act of Congress to get that thing fixed. And they asked if I wanted to press charges. And I'm like, not right now. What's my statute of limitations? So it's almost over with. But I don't think I'm going to do anything about it. But he is back doing another network now. And he's a great producer and he's a great host. He's got a perfect radio voice. but his name is Todd Bates, and he was just ridiculous. But anyway, so I'm throwing money at everything, trying to find software I can use. I've never produced anything in my entire life, and but I have George Norrie coming on, so we're gonna find something. And I did, and I went ahead and I bought my call sign through the Internet Radio Uniform Call Sign thing, and it's WBHM-DB, and it's it's just people whose shows I like, and I just produce them. And I am a terrible producer when I'm producing myself. I don't like having to not focus 110 on my guest and
Mhm.
making sure I'm doing a good interview, because that's the reason I do this is I love interviewing people and learning things. And I do ufology. I just got back from Contact in the Desert, which was in Palm Springs last weekend. It was one of the biggest things, and they were doing workshops that Monday, a holdover for the workshops, and it was amazing because I came downstairs. I'd seen something on my phone, just a flash, when they show you the headline, whatever,
Mhm.
and it was alien craft. That's all I saw. And I thought, well, I'll read that when I get out. But I'm trying to get out the door to get to the airport to do this. And I go downstairs and see some of my friends. And Cheryl Costa was there. And she is brilliant. She's a great ufologist and a great writer. So we were chatting before I left because I was trying to make sure that she was going to be on with me last Sunday. And she was. It was a great show. She's a great guest, just like Nick. Perfect shows. We have perfect guests. So it was, and people that don't keep hitting their mic. Sorry, whoever has to edit that. But it was. She said, "Have you heard the news?" And I was like, "Well, no. What are you talking about?" And she was like, "There's a whistleblower who's come forward with, you know, we have craft and we have pilots." And I was like, "What?" I mean, I'm fixing to be in the air for 8 hours. I'm not going to get to hear any of this.
Mhm.
And I'm sitting there going, will they let me have my own Wi-Fi? Maybe. Because I carry my portable hotspot, right? So they were doing free Wi-Fi on the plane. So I was staying up to date and I was chatting as we're, zipping through the air to Atlanta. And it was so funny because I'm just going like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't talk to anybody about this for the whole day. So I did a live feed from the Ontario airport there in LA. And if you ever have to fly into LA, use that airport. It is so much
Yeah.
better than LAX. Oh my God. So anyway, and
I can vouch for that.
and thank you, Rick McCollum, for telling me that. So but I do ufology, I do paranormal. I love the paranormal. Fate magazine on Sundays is usually more UFO or science based of some type.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's really good ghosts too. But paranormal experience is everything. I've always done whatever interests me, and I'm very lucky because people will generally not tell me no about coming on. I just ran a show 3 weeks ago that I recorded with Nick Pope, who I think is one of the most brilliant men and very nice. And it took me forever to edit that because between us at the time we had 8 dogs. Mine were the only ones that lost their mind. So it was fun. And he didn't hear them because in Zoom,
Mhm.
my filters are set, but if it's coming live through my mic,
Mhm.
then it doesn't filter them.
Yes.
He's awesome to listen to.
He is awesome to talk to because he is so charming. And, I'm very, very lucky. A friend of mine, Mark D'Antonio, who is the science guy, he's an astronomer. And you'll see him on all kinds of shows now. When I met him, he wasn't. But he is really becoming popular because he is so analytical. He is the photo and video examiner, really, whatever, for MUFON. And he understands how things, because he's an astronomer, he understands how things move in space and in our skies. And, I have things show up at my house frequently. And generally, this is going to sound crazy, but on meteor shower nights, I go out and I love meteor showers.
Mhm.
And the Leonids and, well, all of them really. So I'll be out there either in a hammock or a gravity chair with a blanket, usually a dog or two, just watching the sky.
Mhm.
And when it starts to get to be, peak night, peak times, I have a mountain behind my house and a craft or something comes over the mountain and stops.
Mhm.
And then something comes the other side of the mountain and stops. And it happens a lot. I
Mhm.
mean, it's not like I would make that up. Why do I care? But it's interesting to me that apparently they like meteor shows too. So, it's just one of those weird things that you just kind of like go, should I tell people that? I went to the scientific coalition on UAPs um, last year, and it's coming up now too. It's you have to be an advanced degree in STEM
Mm.
of some type to be a member. And I am not that person, but you can be an associate with the right resume. And mine probably isn't strong enough for that either, but they let me play. So,
Nice.
it's I got to learn so much last year. And this year they're doing it virtually and it's coming up. So if you want to do that, you can look on Facebook at Scientific Coalition on UAPs. And it is a wonderful event. They don't pay me to say that either. I mean, I just love it. I love learning. So if you have any curiosity about what is happening, these are some great people and they are tech guys, most of them.
Yeah.
So I love learning that stuff because it amazes me that they can get it down to the level that I grasp it.
Yeah, that's it
And
for me. I'm like,
right. But
what
they
do you think?
do. I mean, they really do. They're not so above you. They can be.
Mhm.
Like if
Mhm.
they were just sitting around talking shop, I'm sure,
Right.
because I guarantee you, every one of those men are and women are used to being the smartest person in the room.
Mhm. Right.
Right. And I'm sure that it's interesting to them and fun when they're with their peers.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but like Travis Taylor is a member of it. My friend Mark is a member of it. Um, there's so many people. I got to meet John Alexander um, twice last year, actually, but he was the Men in Black at the Gulf Breeze event, UFO event. He actually was a man in black.
I
And
actually have a guy, and I'm going to, I'm going to send you his name just to see if you've ever heard of him,
okay,
because he was supposed to be on the show a while back, and he had to go somewhere, but his, I don't know what you call it, his promoter. It's
Mhm.
not a producer. It's not anything like that. He's just responsible for getting him the interviews, which he has gotten interviews with like famous people, which is fine and great. But some of the things I saw, because I'm just trying to learn the spirit world right now. I have to do one step at a time, not, all this, which I believe in it just fine. I just don't understand it right now. And he's sending me all these videos, and I'm like, what? And what he's saying is he lives in California, and he's actually doctor in his title. He was a pharmacist, and he I don't remember what he calls them. Dragons is what I think he calls them, but
Right.
they like fly up next to helicopters and military and police. And he says it's so strange because he's got them pointed where he's got videos, so many videos. And these little things that look like drones, but when he sent them to NASA and they toned it down or did whatever they do, they're flying 5,000 miles an hour. And they just go up and just like follow them. And he said it's these same things that escort mother ships. You can see them. I'm like, okay. And he sent me all these
That's
videos.
interesting.
It really is. We're going to reschedule him on this show, but I'm afraid I don't know enough to even be able to hold a conversation with this man.
You'll be fine, because I'll tell you why. The guy is out trying to schedule interviews, right? So he will bring information to you that he feels will be comfortable for you. And if you want,
he said, ask
and
me
if-
this. I'm like,
but if you want to go past that level, okay, if you are comfortable with where he, and I found this with all of these people because they love what they do, just like we love the paranormal.
mhm,
Okay. They want to share this information. So that is what they're here for.
mhm,
And you have to be careful because sometimes there are people that are out just for disinformation.
mhm.
And I asked a guy that's really famous now, when he was new, you're getting a check from here and you're getting a check from the government too.
Mhm.
Are you disinformation or disclosure?
Mhm.
Well, he
Right.
was so mad, right? So we just, burned that
Right.
bridge, let me tell you.
Right.
But I got to ask him that again because he didn't answer me the first time,
Mhm.
and he still didn't answer me.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was, they are wanting to get information out.
Mhm.
They are going to bring it on a level that you're going to get it. And once you're grasping the first part, they will bring it up a notch.
Mhm.
If that's where you want to go with that. If you want to
Right.
stay on that plateau, it's still fascinating.
Mhm.
And you can still share that with your listeners and they'll love it too.
Yeah.
But if you personally want to step that up, they will help you understand it better.
It was just so strange to me because this guy just messaged me and I'm like, okay. He said, this doctor so-and-so, here's his number, here's his email. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you need to stop this because you don't
Well,
just
send them to
give
me.
out. And he
Just send
said,
them over.
he said, no, seriously, call him. I'm like,
Yeah,
I am
do
not
it.
calling some random dude. So I messaged
They all have
him.
handlers. It's okay. They have handlers.
Well,
and
this
that's
handler
okay.
needs to go somewhere and get some education or something.
You
because
send him to me.
he's freaking.
I
I'm
will
going
interview
to.
that guy.
I'm
I would
actually
love
going
that.
to.
I would love that.
Because that way
And
you
if I
can
think
actually
he's off the
screen it.
wall, then I will just not do it. I mean,
Right.
I get people a lot that are like, "Hey, we need to do a show together." And I'm like, I don't even
Sure.
know what that is.
Yeah.
But I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
You know. But
And this guy, the doctor himself, was amazing.
there you go.
I respected him to the utmost level because he was like, as soon as I texted him, he was like, do you have time in 20 minutes? I said, sure. And I took off work for a second, took my break, called him. He was amazing. Acted, normal.
Right.
The handler did not. I'm talking just video after video after video after video. And I've got files for like, now it's going on 6 weeks.
Are they
I've gotten-
interesting though, the videos?
They are. But he's asking
It's
this,
overkill.
ask him this. And I'm like, okay, that's great to know. That's a great, agenda to have because I don't know anything about the UFO part of it, which was great. But then it went into, have you talked to him yet? Did you call him? I'm like, no. The dude had to go out of town. I'm not calling
You should
him.
have said, I will let you know when I have this scheduled. And
I'm
that
just
would
like-
just drop that guy.
Where did I go here? Because
You got in a wormhole. Is what you
I
did.
did. And he's still messaging me. And I'll open it. Okay. And put it back down. But his videos really are interesting, and the man himself is really amazing. But
When we
he
go off
thought,
the air, you're going to have to tell me who that is.
I will, and you might know him, or you might have heard of him.
Well, now I'm nosy though.
He has scheduled interviews with like who was it, Jeremy? The guy that you always want to talk to.
Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd, yeah, I figured you were going to
He
say
has
him.
videos with him.
Have y'all talked to him?
No.
Not yet. At
Jeremy,
least
have
not
you?
yet.
He wants to. Believe me, he wants to.
I want to also, because on the paranormal side of things,
Yeah.
he's genetically wired that way. His
You know-
family was the American Psychical Association.
Yes.
He grew up with that.
Yes.
And he's just a fascinating man from everything. He used to coach, or he was my sister's neighbor when she lived in Larkspur. And I'm like, I wish I'd been doing this then,
Yeah.
you know? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I
That's like
need to
me.
go up there.
I had a
Reached
connection.
out, but never heard anything back.
Yeah, because I mean I understand that, but
Oh, hey, Howie.
you know,
Oh, hey,
Howie?
That's
Howie Odell.
Howie, yeah.
Howie who?
Oh, Howie
Odell.
Odell.
Okay.
Odell.
Oh, hi.
Yeah.
Okay. You scared me for a minute. Hi, how are you? There was actually a guy, very eccentric, which most people with any knowledge are.
True.
And I have a hard time balancing his eccentricness.
Eccentricities. Yeah.
Yeah. But he owns the home on the top of the hill where Helter Skelter, where they killed the actress.
Oh, David Oman.
There you go. So
Yeah.
you understand what I mean when I say I
I
have a hard
do.
time balancing.
I've interviewed him, and he is a good interview.
Is he?
He is a very good interview.
He can be good on air.
He can be good on air.
Oh my gosh.
You have to work at it, okay? But he has great information.
He does.
Okay. And it's he actually was having a ghost hunt the weekend that I was in Palm Springs, and I'm like, I would love to come. I'm doing stuff here.
Yeah.
And I just would love a chance to go and investigate that house, because I
You wanna go?
understand when I can get out there. I mean, I've got a standing invitation. I
can-
just need to
Yeah, so do I.
get there.
We can
We
make
should
this
meet
happen.
and do that. We should do that.
It was so funny because I had just met him. The group I was with, that's not who you want to meet people with, because they make you look like a fool. And
What do you
So-
mean?
they are not.
He
they're
made
about
you.
fame. No, he didn't.
Oh,
The group I was with did.
yeah.
We were having a Zoom meeting, and they decided to air it, and I didn't know that.
Oh,
And
ethics, anyone? Holy wow.
yeah, so he was on the air with us. I thought it was just us. I thought we were just joking around playing. He smoking something about that big and talking very, very nasty, alluding to
Jeez.
cats and things.
Yeah.
And I was just laughing because at that point I lived on a farm that had a bunch of roosters. And so things went from really bad to really worse.
Yeah.
And I ended up just cutting out of that whole thing when I found out it was on there.
Absolutely. Holy wow.
And of course, I still get crap about that quite often. But I learned a lesson of you don't do that. You make sure you're either on air or you're private, and that's
Yes.
the end of story. Because I mean, I do the same thing on this show as I do in person. We just joke,
Right.
we laugh. I have no filter most of the time, but I love everybody. And
I mean, you might as well. Life's too short to hate.
yeah, and if I don't, it's called one click of a button, they're gone.
Yep.
But I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this even happened. And we thought we were all joking around, so we all got pretty nasty about the cat and the rooster thing. And so yeah, I have not hit him up again since. And he's tried to talk to me, and I'm like, nope.
Yeah, that would be awkward.
I'm like, I just crawled in a hole somewhere. I'm sorry, I'm done. But it's you come across people, and me, I'm really naive with who's famous, who's not. No, sir, it's fine. You go, please take your shower. Thank you. Have a good day. Okay. Yes, sir. Go take a shower. Now, there's no boogeyman in the bathroom.
He had to step out.
I'm sorry.
The boogeyman, I mean.
I hope he's following him to his room because, but most of the time I don't know who's famous and who's not. I just really don't.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean,
and that's it. I don't care. All the people on, and I was so excited because I didn't find out until a few months ago that the Legion of Exorcists was coming out. I didn't know who was involved. And
I still don't. I don't know anything about it.
It's actually it's on Thursday nights. It's actually coming on again tonight.
Yeah, next episode's tonight. It's great.
Wow.
It is.
Yeah, it's on right now.
What's really good, it's Eli Roth who did this. But Sean Whittington, we do his show twice a week. And it's okay, guys, help me. What's his name that came on here?
James
Long. Yes,
James
he's
Long.
been a long time friend, but
and I've known him too for a couple of years.
I know him.
Rita Strugula, I love her.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
She's on there. I was talking about the guy who comes on here. I can't think of his name. Scott.
Scott. It's Scott.
Scott.
What was his last name? I already forgot his last name. It was like, man, it's like
Scott. But I mean, these guys are all so down to earth and so amazing. And
it's killing me.
I talked to most of them a lot, but I had no idea they were doing this because they were under a hush order.
Right.
Except for
Scott Johnson. That's who
Scott Johnson. Thank you.
Was. I'm sorry. Scott Johnson.
And I love Scott. And then there's
Rich Valdez, if that's how you say
Rich
his
Valdez,
last name.
which he's amazing. He is. He's very nice. I don't know him very well. Eileen does, but he's been on the show and he's been absolutely amazing. And then there's two other men. I have no idea who they are.
Rich Valdez, Donnie Johnson.
Donnie Johnson is actually a really sweet guy. He's been on the show with Reverend Whittington.
Rita?
Several times. Rita, oh my gosh, I can't say enough good things about Rita. She is absolutely amazing.
Long and Sean Whittington.
Yep.
But, to know somebody who's on a show and then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, well, can we promote our show on your, what show? What are you talking about?
Absolutely.
And they're like, yeah, we did this, which I knew Sean was doing something, but he couldn't tell me what.
Right.
So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy for you. And to actually know them and do that. And people tell me, don't you know this guy's famous? No, I really don't, because I see people I don't see. I don't watch all this stuff. I don't know. So, a lot of times they're like, you said what to him? I'm me. I have no filter. And if they know me, they know this. And I'm not mean. I'm just like, whatever. But yeah, it's actually really nice to not know who's famous because you treat him the same way. as
You
you would
do.
anybody else.
And, even if they are famous and you know it, you should still treat them the same way, though, because they get a lot of people that are,
They do.
blowing smoke up their skirt or
Yep. Yep.
trying, just being
Mhm.
whatever. And they appreciate people that appreciate them just
Yeah.
because of who they are.
Yeah.
And that's always a really neat, I think it's really neat as a way to have them on, because I've interviewed a lot of people from Ancient Aliens,
Mhm.
and they're still people that get excited about their work,
Yeah.
and they get to,
I'm a
get,
big fan of that show.
Well, and
huh?
you know what? I was just with one of those guys just a few days ago at the Bell Mansion, Mike Ricksucker. He
Yep.
did his Connecting the Universe. He actually showed his segments on Ancient Aliens along with what was his name? He's like a really well known professor. Oh my God, I'm having trouble with names tonight.
Is he the
I-
one with the crazy hair, Nick?
No. It's oh no, it was with him, and now the name came back with Professor Michio Kaku. So
Yeah. Oh my
yeah,
gosh, that guy is so amazing.
I've met him too.
That's,
He is.
Go away.
I got his latest book.
Boy.
yeah, I love his writing. I mean, I learned so much. I have to go and learn some of the stuff that he is putting in his book the first time I started reading him. But he
Mhm.
is really a fascinating fellow. And when it comes to the connectivity between the fields,
Yeah.
It's really fascinating to hear some of the people's take on that. And he is one of my favorite. I
I
didn't
love
know
it.
that that's who Mike was on with. That's cool.
Yeah, he was.
I love
They
it when
showed
we
both
get people.
segments. They showed both segments together. I remember watching it, and I was like, "Wow!" And I've met actually both these folks, like,
Mhm.
like when they came over here or when they were like in another event, and it's amazing because it wasn't really till almost 10 years I actually really got to meet, for example, Michio Kaku. Mike Ricksucker I met back in 2017. But
Yeah.
Michio Kaku, I actually learned from him, in fact, while I was taking, and I know this sounds crazy, but I was still a student at Harvard Community College, and they actually had paranormal classes there. And that's when I was
Mhm.
kind of introduced to him, because he was talking about certain types of well, not necessarily the paranormal itself, but certain things involving the subject. And
Mhm.
it's like over the next couple, this was back in 2011 when I first found out who he was. And it's just amazing how now over the years, he's on like several different channels, different
Yeah.
documentaries. And I was not even the least bit surprised when he was on Ancient Aliens.
Well, the thing about him is that he's just a science guy,
He is.
and when I started trying to understand string theory, I was just like completely blown away by the whole concept.
Yeah.
And you know what helped me with string theory? The movie Interstellar.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do that because I'm still very lost.
Well, if you go and watch that, I'm sitting in the theater, right? And I have been reading this and I've got the concept, I've got the idea,
Hmm.
right? But I'm not locked down on it. I'm not grooving with it yet.
Hmm.
So I'm sitting there and I thought, I love Matthew McConaughey. I'm going to go check this out. Well, it's a weird movie, but it's awesome. And so toward the end of it, I'm sitting there looking at things and there's stuff happening. And I'm in the middle of the theater, guys. Oh, but I'm like, that's string theory. I got it. Okay. I'm good. Got this. So, I don't know who all I totally insulted and ruined their night for, but nobody was mean to me. But it was so funny because I was just like, the light flashed, right? And just poof, there we go.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I do think that that's how things work. And I do think that's how,
Mhm.
crafts show up and disappear. And that's how you'll see somebody's doppelganger, but they're not supposed to be where you are.
Mhm.
and or somebody will cross into your mind, right? Something will just. I think that a lot of these anomalies are experienced because of that, because something shifts or
Yep.
somebody has done something that was unexpected, and then poof, there it is. And
Yeah.
then, a lot of times when you have somebody show up unexpectedly, they leave just as unexpectedly.
Yeah.
And, it's just kind of a really.
Yeah.
But, I look at those images, the time travelers, they have the
Mhm.
guy that's in inappropriate dress, or somebody
Yeah.
that's in a film or a picture that's got a tool that wasn't invented yet, stuff like that. And I know that most of those are Photoshop, but
Mhm.
you know what? I I can't rule out other things.
Right.
So, oh, thanks, Brad. So, it's just one of those things that to me, I love it.
Yeah.
I love, and I love him. That's one of my favorite scientists. Daniel Radcliffe.
This
Yeah.
time traveling is hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, Kat, I will send you a request when we get done.
oh, please, yes, we should already be connected. Look at us.
I looked and we're not.
mean-
I thought we might be, but and then I'm going to send you that name
Okay.
and let me know if you.
I'm interested to see
heard
who
of
this is now, because the odds are probably decent that I know who he is.
Right, and that's what I
And
think too.
I was getting letters from a publicist about this person that I recently had on, but I wasn't familiar with him,
Mhm.
and it sounded almost too good to be true.
That's and that was me
And-
with this. I'm like, I don't know, and
Right.
so and this guy, the publicist, I don't think he is. I
Right.
think he's just trying to get him out there because he keeps putting himself.
Is it a
in
guy
that.
publicist?
Yes.
Okay, mine was a girl, but
No, this
or
is
a
a guy
woman. But
interjecting in there. Me and him, me and him, me and him do this. Sweetheart, there ain't not a one of these videos with you in it.
yeah.
You live across the United. No, sir. But whatever their connection is, I mean, that's their business. But
Well, I'll tell you that I have, and y'all might like this too, but I work with Flying Disc Press in Great Britain, and Philip Mantle, who was the director of what is the British MUFON group, is the publisher. He owns that publishing company. I get a lot of great guests from him.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some publicists are for real, and some of them have a great stable of authors and researchers that I
Right.
use for concepts that maybe I don't know enough about yet and think that my listeners would like too.
Mhm.
But that's a great source.
Yeah.
Have you
And they do
had
paranormal too.
And I really think you would probably be better than I would at this interview.
Okay.
If this is the case, because I just don't know enough to really hold a conversation with this man. Which he understands this, and he was okay with it, and he was like, I'll tell you, it's okay, but he doesn't brag. The doctor
Right.
himself does not brag. He's not like this and this and that. He just told me, he said, this is what I see, this is the videos that I have, and this is what has happened. And that's all he said. But this other guy's just like constant sending videos.
Well, he's doing his job.
He is.
So the other guy's job is to be him,
Yeah.
and his publicist's job is to sell him.
Yeah.
So,
Which they're not
it's
getting money for any of this.
well, I mean,
So-
no, you're not, but it's getting him airtime.
Right.
I mean, I don't
Right.
pay guests. I would never pay a guest.
No.
But, because I am helping them as much as they're helping me.
Right. And he wants a word out there. And
exactly.
I respect that completely.
Well, sure.
I
mean, that's why we do. We want to learn. Our listeners want to learn. They have something
Right.
to teach. It's a win-win-win.
Right.
So I would
Well,
love
I
that.
just think
though.
you'd
Thank
be
you.
better at this than I would.
Are you going to listen if I have them on?
Absolutely.
Okay, then I'll do it.
I'm going to listen anyway because I just I didn't know you before, but you're awesome.
Oh,
And
I think y'all are too. So I'm just glad to be here. When Nick mentioned it, I was like, heck yeah. So
yeah, usually
Absolutely.
we run our mouths about, well, I do anyway, but
well,
shut up,
Jeremy's just sitting over there in the corner in the dark in the booth in the back. He's not saying anything.
He
Well,
does.
he was-
He like runs the show in the background.
I
But,
enjoy
Jeremy?
it when I can be on one of my own shows and I don't have to say very much.
Yes.
So, Jeremy, I do have to say,
I'm
I
just
didn't get to
picking on
say
you,
this.
Jeremy.
When I came on, I didn't get to say this. Jeremy, you look awesome. I love that look.
Do you not usually look this good, Jeremy?
No, he does. He's just finally taken his eye patch off.
Yeah.
I have been wearing an eye patch for a year and a half due to an accident that I had at work.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And they just now put like a prism
Oh,
sheet on this one lens
Yeah.
to try to bring my double vision to
I didn't see that.
yeah, it's kind of hard to see.
Well, I
Actually,
saw
I
it
can
when
see
you held it up the
clearly
other-
through that. That's
I can
sad.
see a little bit of it, yeah.
Well, when you took them off, I could see the effect on the glass, but
Mhm.
Well, that's probably water spots from them putting them on, but what they have is there are lines going across.
yeah.
Jeremy, you look so much like you did before.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing. Without that eye patch, you look almost identical to what you did before.
The only thing that's missing is his longer hair, of course.
That's what I
Which
used to
that
look
will
like.
come.
Well,
that
there you
will
go.
come.
Yeah, see, there it is. Yeah.
I like the beard too.
Oh, we had the Stroke the Beard Club on TikTok because we used to joke about, Jeremy, we want to stroke that beard. Come here. None of us actually got that meeting. And so,
You just have to lean into the camera for me and when you get it back.
well, when I
Uh,
did finally get to meet him
Yeah.
in Kentucky,
Yep.
my best friend, she's like, you cannot walk away without doing this. And so he was like, okay, show her. And so we did a video and I was like, stroking
Did you
his
really?
beard.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fun.
And so it became a Stroke the Beard Club, and everybody that met him had to do that.
Not me.
You didn't
Well,
stroke his beard.
You was what's
I-
wrong with you?
You mean
Well,
a
you guys must have done it when I was still on my way down to Kentucky.
Yeah, you were late.
Yeah, I was late. See, Jeremy
and you
knows.
missed the beard stroking. See, that's what happens when you get off schedule.
Now
know
you're not a
something.
member of the club, and that's a
Yes,
problem.
He'll make up for it when you grow it back out, Jeremy.
I actually have video, and it just seems like it was yesterday, but we got video when he shaved his head right before.
Oh,
he
Yeah,
really?
well, yep.
His hair was down to here. I mean, he had
Oh my
such
gosh.
long
Back in
hair.
September.
And,
I shaved
Yeah.
it all off for one of my surgeries because the incision was going all the way across.
Yeah. And we got
the
video.
crazy
I
thing
kept doing
was-
screenshots through the whole video of him shaving his hair.
Yep.
Ah,
the craziest thing was when they were doing this, unfortunately, that night I think one of my family members was like having a birthday celebration, so I wasn't
I think
there.
it was your mama. I think
No,
it was
this
your
was-
mama.
No, my mom's birthday. Her birthday's in February. This was in September.
Your brother just had his. No, your
Yeah.
sister just had hers.
Majority of us are in February. My
Everywhere is where they have like 20 of them all having a birthday the same week.
Yeah, that we're kind of like that. Most of my family is like birthdays are in February and January. The only ones that aren't is my sister. Hers was just actually almost like about 2 weeks ago, the beginning of June. But what I was
That's
gonna
okay.
say-
Yes.
yeah. So we were obviously celebrating somebody's birthday, and I wasn't
You
able
were
to.
celebrating something.
Yeah, we were.
obviously, yes.
Yeah, so I wasn't able to be there for the beginning, and then I finally was able to get back home because they were still running live. And when I came on, by then the haircut was already done. I was like, what have they done?
I still have one quarter left because she tied everything into
Oh,
fours and
gosh.
still had one of them left to go. when
Yep.
you hopped on.
Yep. But, you know, we've all been around each other so long. It's like we're all family.
Mhm.
And, you know, it's like no holds barred. And people, when they first come on the show, are like, "Are you a bitch?" Like, yeah.
Well, yes, but do you have a problem with that? Is the correct answer.
I'm like, did you not know this? Oh, wait, you're new to the show. Okay.
Yes.
Sit back, relax a minute, and you'll see here in a second because, you know, we have, like you do, you have the same viewers. You
Yeah.
know who they are. You know what they're going to say. You know their personality. And we're a little more laid back than professionals. So we're like, dude, Brad especially, dude,
Yeah.
I will find
Yeah.
your ass. Don't worry about that. I will find you.
And you won't be able to hide. Yes.
But you know, it's actually really been awesome because there's so many people involved that we've been through every life story you could go through with someone. His accident, you know, lots of things. My marriage, my divorce, my marriage, you know, everybody's been through all of it with all of us. So, and I'm an open book. I just, whatever, it's out there. If somebody wants to say something about me, that's okay, because usually I've said it. And
Exactly.
if I haven't, ask me. I'll tell you the truth. Whether it's nasty or whether it's not, I'm an open book.
You
But-
name it, somebody on this show has been through it.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, but August 11th, I think those two are going to be here. We're going to an abbey, and it's, I can't remember the year it was built, but it's like one
It
of
was
the
the
oldest abbeys in Colorado.
1880s.
Oh, there we go.
The 1880s. Because like I said, I created a presentation for it before then, so I was able to get all the research. I think it was 1882 it was built.
I think you're
awesome.
right, actually. But a lot of the, I guess they're not past, the monks that were there are buried on the property. One of the
Really?
monks committed suicide
Oh.
because he was accused of messing with some of the boys that lived there. Now, whether he did or not, I don't know. But when the police were coming, he took a hose from a vacuum and put it in the back of his car and into his window and was gone before they got there. So,
Hey,
hey,
Chantel.
Chantel, how are you, sweetheart? But he's buried there. There's a
They
football.
buried him in the
They
on
did.
the
They did.
on
And
the
I
church
asked
property?
that same question. How do you bury somebody in that setting with suicide? Because that's a no-no.
Because it's the one thing that you can't repent from in their eyes.
Right.
It is a Catholic, it is a Catholic abbey, right?
It's
It is.
Order
It is.
of Saint Benedict.
Yeah, and you know
Yes.
what? I correct myself earlier. Actually, it was 1886 it was built.
Okay.
Roman Catholic.
Yes. And what was really strange was they had it was fascinating. They had their own they grew their own cattle, their own crops, their own everything there. It was self-sufficient. And the Vatican, they funded all of this for them.
Right.
And the Pope was going to have this as his retreat at one point. It never made it that far. But they had all of that there. And you can go down in the basement where they had their beet cellar, where they butchered the cattle, where they, all of that. And we're going in on August 11th and 12th. And I was there not long ago.
Where is it?
It's in right next to Colorado Springs. And it's up in the mountains. I mean, just up in
Right.
them. And what was really strange was we had a group with us. Not as big of a group as we're going to have when we go. We're there for 2 nights. But I knew everybody in that group except for 2 girls, and they were brand new, never investigated before. They were just there, and they just kind of hid back in the corner, like, what do I do? It's like, come on, let's go. And we were exhausted by this time. It's just like up and down, up and down. But the man Dennis that runs this, he's also paranormal, and he said, I'm going to tell you a story, but I'm not going to tell you till the end of the night. He said, you tell me what you get. Well, okay. We didn't
Fair
get
enough,
anything.
though.
Yeah,
At
I mean,
all?
we didn't, not at that point. We heard like walking behind us and nobody was there, but that could have been anything at that point. I'm just like, okay. So we started splitting off. So let's go to the basement one more time. And we went to the basement, and the guy in front of us goes, let's go this way. It's okay. We're all going. And I said, dude, did you fart? I mean, the smell was horrid. And he's like,
Funny thing about that is that one of the guys that we're going to have with us in August, we are going to have to worry about that.
but it was so strange because I was like, dude, you stink. He said, I didn't do that. And everybody in line behind me was like, oh, that's awful. I said, are you serious? You didn't do that? And he said, no, I didn't. Oh, hell. He turns around. He goes, I'm gone. And turned around and left. And I'm like, what? His wife? Gone with him. I'm looking and I said, okay. I left too.
Was that
We all
Ben-
did. We went back to the central meeting room and said, what happened? What'd you see? And he said, have you ever heard of a rake? And I said, yeah, but I don't know what it is. So here I'm Googling it. And he said, that's what I saw. It was over this door. This door is like 10 foot tall.
Right.
And he said, I saw it looking over the door. I saw the hands and then it slinked back. And I said, are you sure that's what you saw? Not one of our shadows. You know, I'm trying to go through every scenario. He said, none of you all were with me. You guys had already gone around that corner. I said, okay. So we went back up and told the owner or that guy running it. And he said, I'm going to go down. This was like 20 minutes later. He said, I'm going to go down. I'm going to check it out. I said, by yourself? He said, yes. He said, I'm down here by myself all the time. Me and the spirits have an understanding. They protect me. I said, good luck.
Yeah.
And so he goes down there and he said, that smell was worse than what you guys smelled. I said, okay, so I'm sorry. You didn't do what I accused you of. And he says, I told you I didn't. I said, but I've never investigated with you. I don't know.
Yeah, true.
And he's
Fair
like,
question.
he's like, no. He said, that smell followed me. The owner said this. I'm like, He said, but I didn't see anything. I said, okay. And he said, but that smell didn't go away. I said, you know what? That's enough warning for me. He saw it. I smelled it. Nope, we're good. And he says, I'm going to tell you, we tried to have an exorcism here about a week ago. I said, tried? He said, well, it wasn't exactly an exorcism. He said, there has been exorcisms done here. He said, but I think some of these things stayed. So we had to have a big cleansing here. I said, okay, I understand that. He says, well, we were all in the outer edges of this thing, and it was everybody's job to get it out the door. And had one. Well, one went to the bathroom, didn't do his job. He said, so I think it's still here. But he said, it's not a demon. I said, I didn't claim demon. I never said that. He said, I think it's just a mean little entity, but it's not a demon. I said, okay.
So that means I get to try my little experiment out there. And
yeah, you do. Just watch the Twitch channel before you try any of that, because they have investigations almost every night. and some stuff that happens is just unreal. I would love to see it, but I'm not going down there by myself. It's not going to happen.
I wouldn't do that either.
And everybody's like, you're supposed to be an investigator. You go down in the dark by yourself. No, because I know what can happen.
Well, if you're by yourself and something does happen, you have
Mhm.
no corroborating witness. And
Right.
so then you just sound like a
Well-
drama person.
Yeah.
Jeremy,
And they do have
you're
cameras
gonna-
all over.
Yes.
And he films to Twitch the whole time. But we
Sure.
happen to be where that camera's not.
Jeremy, put
What's
it
that?
this way, because I was gonna say, since you're talking about like you don't know, like when it comes to cooperating and stuff, keep in mind, I almost learned that the hard way at the Masonic Temple in
Yes,
Salina,
you
but
did.
it was not intentional though. I was truly left behind at that investigation.
Somebody got lost using the
That
potty.
wasn't a paranormal experience, though.
No, it wasn't. It could have been, but at the same time, though, I didn't have intentions to be down in that sub basement by myself.
If it
They
could have
left
been
me
there,
there.
it would have been cool. It would have
It
been
would've-
cool if you'd have had an experience. It would
You
have
know
been.
what?
Well,
I
but-
actually one point thought, if I didn't have to meet up with everybody, because I had my toolbox with me, I had all the equipment, so it would have been a perfect time to do a solo investigation.
Meet up for it the next day.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No solos at this Abbey. It's not going to happen. If we can't
Yeah,
see
I don't know
you,
about this one.
if we can't see you, you're not going to be there by yourself. You will have a partner because no.
Good, because
Well,
I'm not.
someplace
ahead,
with
Kat.
someplace with that kind of activity, you don't need to be alone anyway.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if there's like a cistern or something that's creating
Mhm.
that odor,
Yep.
then you need to have someone there that can get you out of it should you
Yep.
fall. Okay.
Yeah,
But you also, you know,
Yep.
you need somebody who, if you start getting in trouble paranormally,
Mhm.
can, if they're not capable of helping you break whatever is
Yep.
happening, they can get someone who can
Right.
or get you out.
And
Because it happens.
it does.
it does
And I
happen.
think this poor little guy, I don't think it was anything evil. I think it was the guy who got left behind, and he's trying to make himself look like something he's not. Of course, I don't know that for sure. And I'm not willing to stake somebody's life on saying, oh, yeah, that's just what it is.
No, I wouldn't do that either.
But there was the best story I heard there was this is up a mountain. So it was in the wintertime. There were some people coming to investigate, and they saw a car wreck. They saw it flip, and they saw it catch on fire. So they stopped to help. And when they stopped to help, they got the man out. They got the children out, 1 or 2 children. They were trying to get the woman out, and they couldn't. And they heard her scream until she burned to death. And of course, those people will never forget what they heard.
Nope. Or
But
saw.
yeah. And they went up to this abbey. And that night, I don't know exactly the events that happened, but the guy that was there said, he said that lady followed him up. And she told mediums that it is her job to stay there with the children that were there. And she's not leaving because those children need her. So she's also now there. And I thought that was just an amazing story.
That
that-
is.
That she's there to help those kids.
That is a tragic story.
It is, but I feel bad for the people that left behind that heard that, because they're not going to forget that sound ever.
No.
And I don't know
And-
if they know that she followed them.
That's a conundrum, right? Do you tell them? Or how long ago was that accident?
2 years ago.
So she should not be there anymore. She should be with her children.
And she's not.
Then somebody should probably help her with that.
Yeah, and that's what.
Just steering her.
Yeah,
You know, letting her know.
Yeah.
You know, the children that were with you, if they were yours, that should probably be your focus, and just so that you can watch them grow.
Yeah.
And take pride in having been the mother of such wonderful children.
Yep. And that's what we're going to try for.
Yeah. Because it sounds like she's really stuck in, that's where they took them. So this is where I have to be. Well, maybe she feels like she can't leave there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
and we're going to
exactly
try
how
to
it
talk.
sounds.
We're going to try to connect with her while we're there. We didn't hear this story till we were about to leave, because he wants to get the evidence that all the investigators get.
Right.
And put the story together.
Well, is whoever owns this place going to be okay with you helping her?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of places, if you remove spirit, the very first time I went to Old South Pittsburgh Hospital was when it was still, the hellhole that it became.
Right.
And Ronnie D and his volunteers, by the way, have made such a tremendous difference there. I would eat there. I have eaten there. But anyway, they had a rule, the people that were there years ago, that if you tried to help a spirit, if you tried to cross a spirit,
right.
If you and they were wired for sound.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. But I'm like, people don't have to cross those spirits. Sometimes you just can have, you can tell them it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not bound here.
Yeah.
And because a lot of times they've been told differently. And I think probably the people that used to run that place were that type of person, right? That would do that. And so the spirits would feel like they were bound.
Yeah.
And, that's never cool.
No.
Oh, never.
A lot of times I do it internally, like.
Absolutely. They know.
Yeah. They can hear you.
You don't have to be verbal to cross someone.
Right.
But, if they don't want to go, they don't.
They're not going to.
That's
all
their
you have
choice.
To do is
then.
just,
Absolutely.
all you have to do is just let them know you are not bound here.
Right. Absolutely.
You can do what you want to do. You're a human spirit.
Yeah. You're free. This is you now. You don't have your body bound. You don't have your pain. You don't have anything you had before. Just go.
I usually just tell them the only thing that has dominion over you is God.
Yep.
Do what you want to do.
That's it.
So we don't know.
Yep.
But they do.
Yep. Guys, we have went 37 minutes over.
Let's be honest though.
I've
This
had
has
so much
been
fun with y'all.
It has been amazing, but I'm running my mouth and y'all didn't say, hey guys, it's time.
I
was actually enjoying that. I was going to say, this has actually been a really good show tonight.
It has, absolutely.
I've had a good time too.
Y'all need to shut me up.
I don't get to be on this side. I don't get to be on this side that often. I love doing this.
Yep.
We're definitely going to have you back on here.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yes.
But yeah, it is that time during the show because I got to get back to work.
And I'm actually going to try to watch the next episode of Legion of Exorcists. So it's
mine's being recorded. I can watch it again.
Yeah, mine's recorded too, so I'll be watching it. But no, Kat, seriously, thank you so much for coming on.
Yes,
this has been
definitely.
awesome.
Yeah, I've enjoyed every minute of it.
And guys,
love you, Lauren. I hope you feel better, honey.
And guys, just as a reminder, because I told Kat this on her show last night, that because I don't know if you guys know, she also took part in that audiobook series that we did last year. And so, Kat, if you didn't know, Adrian and Jeremy also took part in it. So we're going to be doing it again, and I plan on bringing Kat back for that for this next project. So
at one point, I ended up having to leave the show and then coming back. And when I came back, you guys are talking about clowns.
Oh yes! Oh my God! Yes, we got to say something really quickly
What's wrong with clowns?
Well, because
my
story for that audio book was I hate clowns.
Oh yeah.
And Jeremy
I
likes a lot of the
big
scary
thing about
clown stuff. What's that?
I was telling her I have a big thing about clowns. I really enjoy the ones that go around killing people.
He's
I got
also
to
a huge.
be I got
Go
to
ahead,
be a
Kat.
clown in a haunted house. It was fantastic. People were terrified, and we touched at this house. Okay, it was one of the best. I mean, ranked one of the best haunted houses in the country. And I was so fortunate. I started out as a volunteer for my kids' groups, and I got to be a monster. I got to be a clown. I got to flip people out so bad, and it was. I love that. I'm
I
so
wonder how.
bad.
I wonder how
I don't get to
Jeremy.
be bad.
I kind of pictured, to be honest, when you were telling me that on your show, Kat. I often wondered, thinking, "Huh? I wonder how Jeremy would have felt if he was able to experience that."
Well, Jeremy, I will tell you that we had the entire local university football team coming through, and I mean, we really were notorious because we do touch. We it was sets, like different scenes, and we got the word that said, y'all need to get the women off the floor, put them up on the balcony because these guys are coming through head to butt, and they're not looking, they're coming through like a freight train. And so I had a little dangle feather thing, and I reached down and, like, where their shirt came out. I was like, I tickled their back. They were like, ah, they kept running. I mean, they were, no kidding, great big linemen and stuff, right?
Mhm.
I can see now. Hup, hup, I gone out of here. I can see it now.
They didn't need, I mean, they did not look, they did not say a word. They were like, but each of them had their hands on the other one's belt and their heads down by their butt. If anybody had pooted, it would have been terrible. But it was so funny. So, Adrian, you would have liked that. But
I would have died.
it was hilarious. So, great big badass guys, right? It was awesome.
Lauren sent you a friend request, Kat.
Lauren is
cool.
awesome. I love
Yay.
Lauren.
Oh my God, Lauren, she's like, I'm just going to say this, and this is exactly kind of similar to what Adrian had said. Although a lot of us here on these shows were really like family, it's not only just for those who are on these shows, it's a lot of our supporters and fans who watch
Yes.
this. And,
Well,
and
that's
Lauren
what I
is
meant,
truly,
part of.
yeah,
Yeah.
Lauren's one of them. She's been
She is.
amazing.
Yes.
She is.
And-
We love her. She just went through surgery, and
Oh, I hope you're
Yes.
doing well. She was in chat with you when I couldn't find chat last night.
Yeah, and she wasn't able to see the chat like I could because I found the chat room and she was
And
having.
you're going to have to clue me in. That
Yeah.
was my second show, and I'm like, because
yeah,
my show runs on a different network because I went and found somebody to produce me. And so both of my shows on Wednesdays and Sundays are on the Unexplained Network, KUNX.
Mhm.
So you can find me there on Sundays, but my shows are still going to be, on all of my iTunes, iHeart,
yeah.
everywhere else. But and I'm
Lauren,
really
glad
big in
you're doing
India
better,
for some
sweetie.
reason.
Really big in India, really.
Yeah, we do that Geo Savan, and I wondered why I was getting all these friend requests, right, from all these people, and they were all Indian, and I was just like, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
When I get those,
And
they're nasty.
they
They're always
like
gross.
everything. They like paranormal.
They
Well,
do.
yeah, that's
But
the thing too. Like
they
I got
never
a number of.
find me for that. They
Lot of
never find me
mystics
for
thing.
that reason. I get this poem that's this long that says, "Oh, the beautiful sun in your eyes, and I
Yes.
want to marry you." And I'm like,
I haven't gotten a marriage proposal yet, but
"So you got legitimate ones?"
yeah.
I'm like, "You
Well, now I
asshole."
do get the guy that's like he's leaning up against his car.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he's like, oh.
I
And
can't.
I'm like, I don't think so, dude. Married, happy,
yeah.
grandma, I'm good.
Yeah,
So-
and that's what I tell them. And the worst thing, Yeah, so we're censored, whatever. I
I
get this. I get this picture. Okay, we all know what kind of picture. I open this thing up and okay, we'll play. So I have a picture saved on my phone that's bigger than his, and send it back. Say, oh, you want to see mine? It stops usually.
That's pretty much excellent. Do you know that I have never gotten one of those pictures?
Consider yourself lucky, and they respect you because
Some guy was going around putting nasty pictures behind my postings of my shows when I was
no.
sharing them. And I reported it to Facebook because it was full frontal of the woman
Yes.
and him behind her with
yeah,
full frontal as well. I mean, it was very,
Yeah.
Oh God.
anatomically difficult looking to me.
Yes.
But anyway, so I was just like, and I reported it to Facebook, and they were like, "Well, this doesn't violate our standards." I said, "Well, it
Excuse
violates
me?
mine. You know,
What?
can you please keep this guy from coming behind me and sharing his
yeah,
pornography?"
his
And
lack of.
I mean, seriously, I don't see how that worked.
Yeah,
But it did because you could see where it was, and it was just like, And
Yeah.
it was things that I thought, well, if I were 30 years younger, maybe I would consider, contemplating trying that, but I'm old. I don't been like that.
Yeah.
So don't even send me this stuff. But it was terrible because it followed me, when I share in my groups and stuff,
yeah,
it was in all of my groups. And I'm like, not
Yeah.
mine. Didn't do that. So sorry. Don't know how to make it go away. And I was just like, oh, I'm so embarrassed.
yeah,
That, if I were
It
really
is.
Southern, I'd go, oh, I have the vapors. But
Yeah.
it was just one of those things that make you go, holy wow.
yeah.
Who thinks this is okay?
Yeah,
What
it
I
is
did-
Apparently
true- it is
Facebook
true,
thought it was
Kate,
okay.
Unfortunately.
10 years ago, Facebook thought it was okay too. So
Yeah.
I made a page, and every time I got sent one, I would dig into their profiles, and when they had a wife, I would send it to them. But we made
Get out.
this page that every time
Have
it
you
was
seen
called-
this dick?
It was called the Wall of Shame. It was called the Wall of Shame.
Do you know this, Ben?
Yep. It was their profile picture and the picture they sent. And I said, and it like the description of the page was like, if you are the wife or girlfriend of one of these guys, please wrangle them in.
Yeah. Please do your homework.
Yeah.
Keep them at home. Yes.
But of course, I got rid of that a long time ago. But,
But that's
it was
hilarious.
fun while it lasted.
But I do think, have you seen this penis would be kind of a fun thing, right? Name it and claim it, as it were.
That's it.
So
Get your man.
Oh, Lauren.
let's do that.
Oh gosh, yes.
I know. That's what I was thinking too. Have you seen this
Yes.
penis?
Yeah,
I've never
was a-
seen
that
that
was-
movie, so
Oh my God.
I
And
don't know if I
those
want
men
to.
in that scene as they are just sliding down the
Nick,
wall.
you do not want to see that. No,
I,
sir.
brought- I just asked, do I dare you and check? Something is telling me already. No, stick to your horror movies.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Nick, we got you something when you come down.
You do?
Mm-hmm. Zach
Oh.
got it for you in a place we went, and he's like, Nick needs this.
Don't do it, Nick. It's a trick.
Well,
Yeah,
should
Zach
I,
said,
well, that's-
Nick's got to have it.
I was gonna say, should I be scared about this, or should I get an
You
adult?
can actually cut it up and put it on your jacket if you want. It's cool.
Oh, really? It's a patch.
Given our subject matter, I'd be a little nervous, Nick.
It's not a patch. It has no penis on it, I promise.
Nowhere near the worst of the things we've talked about.
Put her in
That's
gently.
reassuring,
Don't-
Jeremy, in
don't
some
do
strange
that.
way. I'm not sure how, but I feel better. A little.
Okay, y'all. We
Oh my
really gotta
God.
get to the
Oh,
Yeah,
your
we
Southern
do.
just came
Yeah,
through
we're
so
pushing
strong.
3 hours.
It's been fun, but we got to end this, unfortunately.
I love you guys. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, we're
I
glad
will
you
talk
came
to you in a minute, Kat.
Okay. I will be there.
All
So-
right, guys.
Oh,
Awesome.
and this one
Thanks,
final
Lauren.
message for Lauren.
There you go.
I
Welcome to
appreciate
the
that.
family.
Thank
Aw.
you.
Lauren, we love you. I'm glad you're doing better.
I am too.
Awesome. Nick, I promise there's no dicks involved, except for what you call our guests sometimes.
Oh God!
Poor
Oh
Jeremy.
my God! You had to bring that up.
I get to ride with him on the way to Colorado in 2 months. So that means I've got 12 hours. 12 hours to put ideas in his head of what he's going to get and scare the shit out of him.
Well, and more importantly, because
Okay.
this is starting to become a tradition too, where when we head back from Colorado and also later from Kentucky, I know someone's going to take a picture of me while I'm asleep.
Yep. That's
Okay.
man.
It's been a tradition.
Okay. No, wait right there, Jeremy. Don't scare him. Because, number one, he knows I have to answer to his mama. The fuck? I am not about to mess with him.
Oh, where's the
I can
challenge?
work with that.
Yeah.
I
No,
can work
Post.
nope. Mm-mm. I have to answer to his mama. She's got my number. No.
That's
No.
fun.
But
And this is from Zach, not me. If it was me, okay. You know, you might be a little worried, but it's from Zach. So we're good.
well, I'm looking forward to either way. But yeah, Cal, what I was just explaining, it's been like some ongoing tradition lately. Whenever we're coming back from a paranormal road trip, and I should have actually explained this on your show. Jeremy's done it. My friend Tom has done it.
Oh,
But
this?
if there's a time, yeah. And when I start falling asleep in the car, somebody's always.
We get.
I go on Facebook and somebody takes a picture of me while I'm asleep. I'm like, damn it!
Oh, well, wait
Oh
a
my
minute.
gosh.
We got pictures of Jeremy sleeping at the
at the
temple.
temple.
We got this.
At the temple.
Well, see, that's a dignified way of sleeping. I'm more like,
Oh, me too.
you know,
I'm like,
I would
it
not
would
be
not be a
surprised
good thing.
But the best picture of them all, honestly. Hang
Oh
on a
God,
second.
you're gonna share it, aren't you?
Yes, I will.
Just as we were about to get on down, Jeremy's got something to show.
things need to be not shared, guys.
I'm going to share this, and this will be our closing.
And who's going to hurt you? Which one of us is going to hurt you? Oh, okay.
I love the doll.
Lucy the
That's-
doll.
Yep.
That was me at the hit. That was us at the Hinsdale house. I told you before I was suffering one of my migraines, and
Yeah.
I took my medicine, but it's like a medicine that has to work while you're sleeping. So I fall asleep on the couch, and I don't even realize what's going on around me.
And
So they
you're
did all this while I was
right
did
there.
all this while I was recuperating.
That is so good. That is so
Hey.
good.
Hey, she was helping you.
I guess
Exactly.
she was.
Contrary to popular belief, she's really sweet. She stayed on my bed for 2 years and never messed with anything. She is sweet. Regardless of what somebody wants to keep telling me that she's demonic, I promise you she's not.
If she was demonic, you would know it after sleeping with her for 2
Yeah,
years.
she is absolutely not.
If
Well,
it
she's
was,
been on my couch for the last over a year now.
Did she behave?
And nothing bad has happened, has it?
I was going to say, if she
Yeah.
was truly demonic,
Between her, the stones that Jennifer gave me, and the EDA stone that Ernie and Denise have given me with me when I go have my surgeries.
EAD.
no, it's EAD.
EAD.
Yeah.
Eat
You
a
said
dick.
EDA.
Stone.
That would be eat dick at fill in the blank.
See,
EAD.
we are just on a dick kick.
Yeah, well, there's
Real
this fun
dick turn,
game with
too.
that. There's this fun game with
I can't
that.
believe I said that.
Put an end to all of it. It's called Pop Goes the Weasel. It puts an end to all of it.
That's harsh. That's so harsh, Adrian.
Wow.
We have Miss
Before
Beasley
we get
go.
off of here, I do want to say, Nikki, it's going really well.
If we let him do it,
Yeah. Get back to work. I'm only halfway to my quota for the day. Yeah. As soon as we get off here, I'm gonna get back to working on that, and then I get to go back to work on that again tomorrow morning.
Thank y'all
I
very
get to
much
clean
for
house
having me,
tomorrow morning.
guys.
Oh,
Jeremy sounding like he's ready to get the stuff going, and
Yeah.
you know, I am so glad that you're doing so well.
he really is. He has
I
been
really am.
amazing.
It was rough for a minute. Let's put it
I'm
that way.
sure. Yeah,
But you
probably pretty darn scary.
you went through the light of it and went, yes, this is what I can do.
But I'm very thankful that you're better.
Me too.
We are absolutely. All right.
yeah.
And one of these days, I'll tell you the whole story. It's a really long story.
Yeah.
That's all right.
It's
One of
not
these
that
days,
long,
we'll just sit
but it
over a
is-
meal or sit over a Coke, and you can tell me about it.
There you go. It's not really that long, but it is very treacherous.
I'm sure it's
Yeah, it
emotional.
is.
I know some of us
It
were
was-
very adamant with him.
Had to
Oh,
be.
Did you need adamant people?
Scared the hell out of us.
Well, let's put it this way. I couldn't eat for 4 months. And so I had to do these protein drinks. And
Yeah.
it was very hard for me to drink one, let alone 3 a day.
Yeah.
But
glad
it
you-
was very
I'm
nice
glad
to
you did
see
it.
you looking good.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely agree.
So
And I'm-
anyway, yeah, we will definitely get you back on this show sometime.
Well, I will
Jeremy-
say yes when you're ready. I enjoyed myself.
Jeremy, parting words for you.
Oh,
Get
well,
that fucking beard back because this Yosemite Sam shit looks great for a minute. But I want that beard.
I did that for the bowling picture, and I had intended to shave all of it off. But Saturday, I had to do the investigation. I didn't want to go to the investigation naked.
yeah.
I decided to wait until after this show because tomorrow is coming off. And then
Why?
we're going to start
What?
Because
Everything
then-
together.
all brand new, all fresh.
That'll be awesome.
Get that shit back.
I will.
Okay.
I
The
get
correct
think
answer
you're
is
right.
why, yes, ma'am. I'll get right on that.
You know what?
Your
I'm
hair
starting.
grows
I'm,
so
good
fast.
president.
you know what? I think I'm starting to realize why you want him to grow that beard back. Is so you want me to grab it too, like everyone else, because I haven't done that yet.
I'm going to.
Nick, 2 words: females only.
I
we
was
never
hoping to
made
hear
that
that actually.
stipulation.
You know what, Jeremy? I was hoping you were going to say that. That's fine with me.
Except Nick. Except Nick.
I don't know. Jeremy sounded pretty adamant.
I'm kind of adamant too about it.
And I
Actually,
both of you over my knee and whoop that behind. So just
To be perfectly honest, I think Scott may have done that once.
I
I'm
was
sure
gonna
Scott
say,
did a
I-
lot of things
Yeah,
once.
He may have done that to me.
Scott
I thought
humped
Tim did something like
another
that too.
guy's leg. Yes, he did. So yes, of course he touched your beard.
I'm
I
pretty sure
thought
he.
Tim, I would have thought someone like Tim would have done that too.
Okay, I
Tim-
need to know
Tim
which
would do
Scott.
Scotty, it's the Scotty that came on tonight.
Oh,
Scott
okay.
Wilson.
Scott Wilson.
Scott
Okay.
Wilson, he is one of the best men that has ever lived. But damn it, he's crazy as hell.
I like crazy. I like
you would
crazy.
love Scott.
Oh,
He is,
He takes crazy to a completely different level.
My
but not. He's not psychotic crazy. He's like, I'm talking. If you see his TikToks, he wears like a tutu
Yep.
and a wig, and does TikToks with his daughter. He's
So
amazing.
does he channel Gruenwald? Scott
He's like
Gruenwald?
somebody.
Probably.
I mean, seriously.
he
A
is
Scott in a tutu,
absolutely.
that's a California friend.
He is absolutely the most genuine person you could ever meet. He's so sweet.
Well, he was very nice in chat.
Oh, that was, yeah.
That was yeah, that was just his nice side.
Yeah.
Okay, he is always nice to women.
Yeah,
I
he
can tell you
is.
that right now. He is always. He has
Yeah.
been with me through the divorce, the marriage, through everything. And he's amazing.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Because you can't have too many friends and you can't have too many nice people in your world.
Right. And
So,
nice gets smaller and smaller and smaller when you realize who's fake and who's not. So it's just like,
Right.
okay.
yeah. But you know what? You have to give everybody you
You do.
don't. Not
do.
everybody. But I mean, read their energy. You'll know.
Yep.
So
Yep.
some people are really good at faking, but
Yeah.
I'm really
Oh,
good
yeah.
at reading.
And that's it, because I want to believe the best in everybody. So I'm like, oh, okay. Until I'm like,
And then it's like, nope, you're out.
what did you just know? Why? I want that on video. What, Lauren?
She's talking about me wanting to grapple the beard.
It'll be on video. No worries. If
Oh,
we have
God.
to Photoshop the shit, don't worry about it.
Here we are with you too. Nope.
All right, guys. Let's get our behinds to bed.
Yep.
Jeremy, get your ass to work. Nick, get your ass to bed. You got to work tomorrow.
All right, so do we have a guest lined up for next week, or is it open mic night?
I'm actually going to leave that guest to Kat. I feel a lot safer that way. I think she can handle him a whole lot better than I can. So
Well-
I'm just kind of transition that. So I don't think we have a guest next weekend. So I get to run my mouth.
I do that sometimes just for fun.
Noted.
I think when we replay some of these shows, I have to go, what the hell was I drinking? Because wow.
Yeah.
The only thing
If I have
keep out
to
of
if
was
I have to
they-
do a solo show, I often look at them and I'm like, ooh, no wonder I have guests. It's a good
I
thing.
will never do a solo show. I just don't do that. I'm not comfortable.
Well, it's
enough
not-
with it.
I've done it.
It's not a bad thing. I mean,
No, if
but
you can
I
do
tend
it,
to go on about the weather sometimes, though. So
it's much better to go on about the weather than the things I go on about. I guarantee it.
I've
Well-
done it actually a few times myself when it comes to like weather and stuff like that, because I
but
have a
I'm-
huge fascination with it.
Nick,
I don't mean
weather.
really weather. That's just a
Well, yeah.
sudden.
Well,
Although,
probably true.
your
sometimes I
weather
have.
shit. The
What?
panhandle of Oklahoma got hit real hard tonight.
Yes.
Oh, by tornadoes? Seriously?
By tornadoes. I know my kids were in the pathway of it, so I
Oh,
have not checked
jeez.
yet, but I have not gotten a message. So let's keep an eye on all that.
Absolutely. It's
definitely.
on its way here. So
Oh,
Yeah,
when my phone kept dinging, they were all weather alerts. So
I
let us
saw
know that
that.
you're okay, Kat.
Yeah, that's.
I will be. I've got a basement.
Yeah, but
I'll keep an eye on it too, because I heard I've been watching the forecast, and they say at some point the deep south was going to get like hit hard this year. So I'll definitely
lot
keep
of-
an eye out for it.
A lot of what came through today went way below me, but they were showing here for tonight. I hate when it's
Thanks,
during the
Lord.
night. I don't like the night ones.
Yeah, that's it. You can't see. And
Yeah, and
those are the
Yeah, it's
bad
like-
ones.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like in the daylight, you at least have a view of what's coming, but in the nighttime, at night, it's almost impossible.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I
the
live-
only warnings,
I live
obviously,
between
is
I live between mountains, so I'm usually pretty safe, but
In
I
the
can't see
valley?
anything.
Yeah.
I mean,
The
I'm on
valley
the
area?
side,
Yeah,
and
that's still scary.
I can't see what's coming over, but usually if it's coming that way, it'll bounce over.
Right.
So,
It doesn't usually dip, but if it does, it's bad because it just keeps going back and forth
Oh,
between
yeah.
the two.
well,
and
we had a David and I kept hearing this
Yes,
noise,
Lauren.
and the door was open, and it was like this. I guess it would have been but it sounded like a car, but there wasn't a car,
Yeah.
and it was like wind that just came through like a
Yeah.
67 Chevelle. I mean, it was just
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, it was so
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
And we just closed the door. We
Yeah.
stepped back and closed the door.
I
It's
don't
just
see
like,
it.
oh.
I don't hear it.
Yeah, I had enough. Just that one thing. And I hope I never see that again. That was more scary than almost
Right.
anything.
Right.
But anyway, I know, Jeremy, you want to cut through and you have things to do.
Really quick
So-
before I do that, Nick, I sent you a screenshot of PayPal information.
yes, I'm gonna send it to you. That's the other thing. As soon as I get off here, I finally have a chance to send this because I was having trouble sending the payment for you, Adrian. So I'm sorry that it's been taking longer than expected, but I have not
It's
forgotten
okay. I'm
about it.
sending it in the morning, so we're good.
Okay, how much is? Oh wait, I was gonna say, should I even ask like how much is it or
It's a 1:30 for
130?
the
Okay,
2 nights.
for 2 nights. All right, just need to make sure so I can send the rightful payment.
Yeah. And we're going to stay at the location for both nights.
Awesome.
I think we're actually going to try to bring some food, and I'm going to cook at the sister house, at the nun's house. So
Oh,
there's a grocery
Sounds-
store right down the road, so we're good.
that may actually help stir up some activity.
It might. You never know.
Ghosts.
Anything normal.
Oh, wait a minute. What? Wait. My cooking is not that bad. Y'all ain't going to die.
See, I was talking about having normal activity in the sister's house. Now, I don't know what they were talking about.
I'm not sure either, but I'm.
Oh, I
Yeah,
wasn't sure what he meant.
That's what I was talking about. By cooking, doing normal everyday activity may help stir up some activity.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not
What
talking
are you
about
looking for? What are you looking for?
I don't know if there's a huge like horsefly in here or a moth or what it is, but it's like hitting the pipes in here. I'm like,
So you have either the Horsefly or the Mothman Chronicles happening in your room.
I
as
was
we
thinking,
speak.
like the Mothman.
So
No, Brad. No, it's not 7 hours left.
Brad, more like 7 seconds.
Brad. I promise you, within the next year, we'll have a come to Jesus meeting.
So with that, until
I can make my way that way. It's all good.
So with that, everybody in the audience, thank you for playing along. We've had a really
Bonus.
good show. Again, Kat, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thanks for inviting me.
And next week, open mic night.
I don't believe in Jesus.
I get to be. Oh, okay.
Brad is bold when you're on the air.
Oh, trust me. He has
Brad,
said,
if you don't believe in Jesus, you better come to terms with your maker, whoever it is, because you're about to meet him.
He's
Her.
so bold.
Whatever.
or
All
he
right,
or
guys.
she, somewhere around there.
On that death note, have a good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
I love you, Brad.